Cyberpunk Uncensored.
Hey, we're officially live now. Everyone can see us and hear us. Well, hopefully. Everybody say hi. Let's check mics.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey. All right. Val, do we have you?
Yeah, I thought.
Okay, good. All right, just making sure. Sometimes it cuts out in my headphones. I want to make sure everyone can hear. Everyone, chat, let us know if anybody gets muted, any videos freeze. We'll try to get that fixed right away. I know sometimes glitches happen. Yeah, this is our team Veritas. Usually this is on the last Wednesday of every month, but we bumped it up. Now we're doing it every other Wednesday. We're doing it on like the second Wednesday and the last Wednesday of every month. Get a little more gameplay out of the team, have a little more fun. So I'm really happy about that. I'm excited. I'm glad that everyone's tuning in and checking it out. We will do a little mini recap. This is the beginning of a new campaign. So, this is a great place for everyone just to kind of join the new spot with the team. Like I said, I'll do a little mini recap, but everything's going to be new as far as this campaign. Before I get to that point, before we get into the gameplay and all that good stuff, let's do like we always do. Let's go around the table. Everyone introduce yourself. Let people know where they can find you online, and then introduce your character as well. All right, Jancic, you want to start it off?
All right. My name's Jancic. I can be found at Twitter on Jancic_1, and I am playing the solo wolf, veteran of the Fourth Corporate War, and slightly crazy. A little better since he's had some therapy recently, but still a little unhinged.
A little bit. Naomi.
I am Naomi, also known as Mad Lass McGee. I play Cynthia Dixat, a straightforward but also fun-loving person.
Oh yeah. Now, Mad Lass McGee, are we out of Facebook jail and Twitter jail, or did you? I should say, did you bring your account back? You weren't in jail.
I am out of jail.
Okay.
Finally.
Nice.
I feel like I made an account and pretty much got immediately put into Twitter jail. Like all I made was like 2 comments. I don't know what I did.
I don't even think you commented. You made an account, and Twitter was like, "Oh no, we heard of you."
Yeah.
They did that. They did a rep roll, and they were like, "Nope,
Yeah, no, I got.
Hey.
But it's okay.
Thanks, Stink Palm. We already got a couple +2s for the team. Look at that. Look at chat. Thanks so much. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Hey, and my beautiful wife Valerie. Why don't you take the mic now?
Hello, I play Phoenix. I'm Big Val. She's the fixer. She's a Southern girl. When she's on her synth coat, her voice comes back to normal. Well, it comes to my voice, I guess I would say. Her voice is normally Southern. And you can find me at Twitter at cyber_Valerie. I got it right. Yay.
Nice. Hey. Will.
He's on mute.
Nope, not abusing the mute gods yet.
All right.
Hi, I'm Will. I am playing Looper, the gonzo editor-in-chief of Veritas Media. A little bit eccentric and ready to get the story down and move to and take a shot at LA.
Oh yeah, good point to be made. And Jamie.
I'm Jamie, Purple Fire Drake on Twitter. I play Kira, a nomad who loves to drive around Night City in her big peace-loving bus, making people turn their heads, going, "What the?"
Nice. Well put. Also, I want to point out, BBS Wagons did a +2 as well. So now you've got a couple +2s from Stink Palm, a couple from BBS, all before we even get into gameplay. So look at that. The team's ready to for some help from chat. And also
They know we need them.
Yeah, they've seen the previous campaigns apparently.
Yeah.
They've seen how things have happened before. And no, in Australia's plays, obviously taking some jabs at our resident media here. Looper saying LOL when the media is muted. I like that. Rob Grab, awesome. A -2 on next roll, and that's for me. Nice. Not too good for the team, but good to help me out. I really appreciate that. Let's get it. All right, cool. And I am Rob Mulligan. I'm the game master here, but I'm also the founder of Cybernation Uncensored. You can check out Cybernation Uncensored anywhere you see social media. We have a real active Discord, Facebook group, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. But the most important sites where you can check us out is right here on Twitch and also on YouTube. Or if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, over on Twitch. If you're listening to the podcast, on Twitch and YouTube. Either way, check out Twitch, check out YouTube, Cybernation Uncensored. Give us a subscribe, give us a follow. I would really appreciate that. Also share, like the videos, all that stuff really helps a lot. Share this link right here. Share our Twitch channel right now. Let people know that we're live. Share it around on Facebook. Retweet us on Twitter. And help us get some people tuning in to our awesome team, our great new campaign, and all that good stuff. We would really appreciate the support. And speaking of support, let me take a moment to give a shout out to all our supporters on Patreon that opted in for the shout out. Seriously, all of you are the fuel on my fire. We have a lot of them right here. Like on most of my teams, it seriously means a lot to me. I create all this content that keep gameplay going, the brand boosting, and bringing in new GMs, artists, all kinds of good stuff because I love it. I have a passion for Cyberpunk and Fallout, Dune, all this dystopian stuff, the gameplay, just networking online and streaming. But it is absolutely validated by your support. Every time I get a like, a share, it means everything. And then when you join on the Patreon and you actually donate some cash to help me do more and more, I can't even put words into how much that means to me. Like I said, y'all are the fuel on my fire. So shout out to Kevin Moreno, Joseph Holder, Naomi Madlass, Jamie Minch, John Erfurt, Leaded Coffee, Michael Edmonds, a.k.a. Kira, Chris Anderson, Matt James, GM Reservoir Panda, Rothan, a.k.a. Renegade 420, Revolver Gray, Samurai Max, Steve Barr of Sirenscape. Shout out to Sirenscape, an official sponsor here at Cybernation Uncensored. Zeno, Zach, Capricious Nature, who maybe you've seen as a GM on our channel. Cyber Smiley, who runs Tales of the Forlorn Dopes with Data Fortress 2020. Raven, Andy Stretton, Copious Salt, Derek, Lawrence, Daniel, Terry, Alex Maxwell, Nicholas King, Tracy Goodwin, aka Stink Palm here, who's helping us out in chat. It really does mean a lot. I seriously thank all of you, as well as Will. All of you putting this together. It means everything, not just the gameplay, but like I said, the support for everything else that I do with the brand and all the expansions. So shout out to that. And also shout out to Fantasy Grounds. We kind of brought them in as a new sponsor. You might have seen them on the countdown overlay. I'll be making some official announcements about that very soon. But really happy to partner up with them for some really cool things in the future that we'll be talking about. So like I said, this is our team Veritas. They run a Neo Media Corp out of Night City. They even have a cool renovated firehouse as a home base, which is really neat. They have their Nomad now that they rescued out of a previous campaign and helped her in the campaign before this actually rescue her family with her awesome bus. So now they actually have a ride when they need it. They don't have to be doing combat cabs all the time, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's Team Veritas kind of in a nutshell. I would recommend everyone check out the previous campaigns, streams, sessions that we have on the Cybernation Uncensored YouTube. All the VODs are there. Check out all the great NPCs that they've met, plot twists, crazy things they've been through, all the awesome role-playing, cosplay, all that fun stuff. Check it all out so you get all the juicy details. Hey, thanks, Julian, for the follow. Yeah, so the team basically, like I said, last campaign helped Kira save her family. They rescued the family and cleaned up the last few members of the Orlov family. They were able to kind of feel good about that, I guess, because the campaign before that, they busted out that big story, bringing down the head of Orlov family and a majority of them, doing that whole brain dance thing, extracting information. And that's where they rescued Kira initially and met before she came in as a actual team member. But now here we are in this campaign where at the end of the last one, just as they rescued Kira's family, Cynthia got a call from her uncle. Correct. What's uncle's name? Correct me.
Lucia.
Lucia, that's right. I had it wrong. I remember the first stream. But yeah, your uncle Lucia gave you a call, basically saying, "Hey, honey, I need some help. If you and your friends could come down to Night City, just come on down to my office and meet up. We need to talk. I just need some help." And he was willing to send a ride, where Cynthia said, "Hey, we actually have a ride now." So that's kind of where we left off. The team had 3 days downtime. The uncle said, meet on that day. And kind of a couple things there, maybe a little bit of meta there, but we wanted to give the team 3 days so they could, pay a medic to repair their ear damage. I know a few of them had some ear damage from Looper triggering that mine in the previous session. So we need to kind of fix up the inner ear damage, have a few days. Anybody that took damage, they can heal. Anybody can repair their SP. So if you had SP damage, things like that, you can just take out like 10 eddies. We'll say local tech, maybe Cynthia's new tech. Someone did a little bit of repair on that. It's always a fraction of the cost to repair, but you can always consider just buying new stuff after a handful of repairs. A little homebrew that we kind of mess with. And I'll always mention that when the time comes. But aside from that, healing, SP back to normal, no more critical injury sort of stuff going on. Team's back to normal. It's been a few days. Everyone's meeting up out front of the old cafe, the 24-hour cafe in the upper marina where you just grabbed breakfast, you paid for it. You're all standing out front waiting for Kira to pull up and pick all of you up. I'm going to bring up some Sirenscape sounds, just some city sounds, while everyone except for Kira is hanging out front of the 24-hour diner. Why don't you guys discuss that for a moment?
Well, kind of went on a date this week.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
I mean, I hope you don't mind, the exec of Team Veritas and your editor-in-chief going out on a little date, but we went and saw a nice little movie. It's from 50, 60 years ago. It's the old movie. Don't know if you ever thought about it. It was called Johnny Mnemonic. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Yeah, old movie, and I mean, still holds up today, I'd say.
I mean,
they had some pretty off-the-wall ideas, I think, about how things were going to turn out. But hey, they pretty much got the setting right, I would say.
isn't that crazy how like that far back in the past they still kind of had an idea what the future would be like?
That's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good time. Got a little wrapped up in some more elf lines online a little bit, but
Hey, did you try the new expansion? Did you get over there to the new area?
you know it, man. I pour a little too much time into that. Also, I was expecting to head out to LA with this. I had this awesome business wear suit jacket that I had gotten. I went into the bathroom because I was at a bathroom, and then I threw it over the stall door, and then next thing I know, it's just gone.
That's how you know you got unexpected clothes, because you threw it over the door in the bathroom.
What?
Well, I wasn't expecting. I mean, I turned away for just a second, and it was gone.
That's really what happens, though. If you have nice clothes, people are going to take your clothes. That's just a thing.
That's how I end up with things. Not buy stuff.
And
You didn't steal my suit jacket, did you?
No,
you
I should have.
You kind of notice she's wearing a new suit jacket that looks like it's been altered to fit, but no, I'm kidding. But no one's gonna mention how Looper just kind of skipped over that it was date night with Cynthia. Like your teammates are dating now.
Oh, I mean,
Annoyed with him. My ears. I had a whole those 3 days just relaxing with my ears and meditating. I'm probably still loopy from all of that. I probably still didn't even catch on to what's going on.
I thought it was a done deal already. I figured y'all would be going out.
You finally bit the bullet and actually took me on a date.
Oh Lord.
It's about time.
I'm looking forward to meeting your pseudo dad.
And it's about that time. Here, I'll bring you over on just as you say, looking forward to meet your pseudo dad to Cynthia. Before she can even respond on that, you can kind of get into family talk. You see on roll 20 this Kira pull up in her awesome colored bus there that you're familiar with seeing. Let me bring up the maps here on the overlay so everyone can see the bus. Kira,
Nice.
out of character. I know, Jamie, you had, was it your nephew or something you want to give a shout out? That painted
Yeah, I
it?
do want to give a shout out to my nephew Julian, who took the outline I had made up and did the artwork, and I think it turned out really nice looking. So this would be Kira's bus that turns heads because, well, it's all peace and love, but Kira's not always peace and love. So
Yeah, I love it. I think it looks awesome.
It's
Looks awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah, so anyways, everyone's hanging out, and right before Cynthia can say, oh yeah, my uncle, my before she can even get in conversation, here comes Kira pulling up in the bus, ready to get in. But Kira, you pull up, you see everyone standing out front.
Yeah, so you see me pull up, I open up the door, and when you start to get on, you will notice there is a new tattoo on Kira's face. It is a light tattoo of it's bear claw marks that go across one eye, which if you look at my profile picture, you'll see what it looks like. So it's purple light tattoo with a bear claw to represent my nomad family.
Oh yeah, and anybody out there that has seen the flyer that we posted on the Cybernation Uncensored Twitter, I think I have it as my header on Facebook, on the fan page for Cybernation Uncensored, also on the announcements on Discord. Check out that flyer, the image is there that Jamie's referring to of her as Kira. And it's awesome update and edit by our very own GM Capricious Nature, who did that update. He always does all our cyber updates for our flyers and stuff. It's a lot of fun. He does a great job, so shout out to Zach, aka Capricious Nature. But yeah, you all see her pull up with that new awesome purple light tattoo across the face of kind of those bear claw streaks, and the awesome bus all shined up, looking nice and painted. And yeah, you see her pull up.
Phoenix instantly runs up and laughs. So, just like taking a picture with her. I'm like, oh, road trip, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, you're either on the bus or you're off the bus.
It'll be nice to get this baby on the road again. So,
a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
And I will remind you, inside of the bus is very much like an RV. So there is a dining room table. There is a small bedroom area in the back of the bus. Facilities, a kitchen area. So yeah, it's very comfortable even on the inside as well.
Nice. And as you open the door and everybody's kind of getting on the bus, why don't you describe what Kira's dressed in today? You know, what are they looking at as they go? Aside from the new light tattoo, obviously, and what they're used to, you know, clothing wise, how does Kira look today?
Yeah, she's probably in a dress of some sort, nice flowing, casual outfit, something that's comfortable for the road trip. The upcoming road trip, but yeah, she's enjoyed having some time off and spending the time with the family, but looking forward to getting back on the road because that's where she feels the most comfortable, is being on the road.
Oh yeah, and then as you're getting off, we already know Phoenix kind of ran up first, got the selfie to say hi. As Phoenix gets on the bus and sees how Kira described it, you see the awesome inside, very welcoming and comfortable. What is Kira looking at as Phoenix takes the selfie and enters the bus? How does Phoenix look today?
Phoenix is wearing her she's wearing a romper that she made. She took some old military clothes and she made it into a nice little romper because it's like she's traveling. She's like, yay, got my travel romper on her. She got her bomber jacket on. She got her hair up in a high ponytail. She's like, I'm ready to roll. And she only has a few bags. You think Phoenix would carry a lot of clothes, but since she's a klepto, that's how she gets a lot of her fun stuff. So she got her basic necessities and her famous little clothing that she likes, but everything else she kind of steals.
Nice.
When she needs it.
Nice. When you get on the bus, we'll say next in line is Looper. Looper, you get on. What's Looper looking like today? What's Kira looking like as you enter?
Yeah, he's wearing just a black T-shirt. It was planning on wearing a nice blazer that he had purchased, but apparently it got stolen. Hair's kind of combed to the side, at least, which is pretty unlike for him. Picked up a new pair of shades, and he's looking actually pretty well put together as far as Looper goes.
He's had a few days downtime finally after some rowdiness and stuff, right? So he's been able to clean up a little, maybe. Maybe. All right.
Probably not.
Yeah, maybe
might not be completely clean.
Yeah. What's Cynthia look like as she enters the bus? Kira gets a look.
So Cynthia's wearing like a high collar crop top with like regular jeans, some heels. She does have a cardigan with her, but she doesn't seem too worried about wearing it. It seems to be more of like a comfort thing. But as far as that goes, yeah, she's wearing some really casual clothes, surprisingly.
Nice, ready to travel. What about Wolf?
Wolfla is looking about the same. Wearing some nomad leathers. He did break out his Grim Reaper t-shirt. Feels like we've been kind of bringing it to him recently. So he's ready to go. Got a couple of bags over his shoulders, and they're most likely weapons. Let's bring them in and stow them somewhere. Wave at Kira.
Yeah, she would help anybody who has bags and lifting up the dining area seat cushions into revealing storage area. She's also pointing out to you various secret compartments that have heavy pistols in throughout. There's probably 3 or 4 hidden compartments where there is a heavy pistol which can easily be grabbed in case you need one for any reason.
I have the sniper
And of
rifle
course,
in
my-
Ellie's car. Do you have a place for it? It's kind of a breakdown. Do you have a place
yeah.
for it?
Sure, and she goes above the kitchen cabinets, and opens them up, and it's actually all just gun storage.
Awesome. Nice.
What?
I like this vehicle.
I would like to think you open it and it looks like Kira has like nice plate sets, like fine china lined up, but then you see it's really like half plates wedged into wood. A panel folds down.
Yep,
It's really just
exactly.
to store weapons. Or,
Push a button and it goes.
Yeah.
yeah.
There are multiple. She will be pointing out multiple secret compartments. There are smuggling compartments. You just never know when you might need these kind of things on the road, especially when those cops try to start hassling you on the road. So
Looking up here, I'm like, this is a beautiful machine, Kira. I love what you've done with it.
Oh, Wolf, you're in heaven, aren't you?
Oh, it's fantastic.
you got to protect yourself, and you got to be comfortable.
Nice. Well, everybody gets on and starts heading out. And yeah, you make your way basically through Night City and out of the city and on your way to Los Angeles. As you get further out of the city, one thing that you notice is obviously the city sounds sort of dissipate and are kind of replaced with these desert winds and wasteland sounds. As I change the atmosphere in Sirenscape, gotta love Sirenscape. But yeah, you make your way out of the city, and like I said, no more sirens, no more construction noises, no more occasional gunshot or scream or crazy city sounds that you can imagine are just a constant in Night City. And now it's just this nonstop wind and wasteland, just emptiness. And it actually lacks traffic out here too. That's the other thing, is in time of red, for the most part out here on the long stretches of highway, you're alone with the occasional nomad caravan, maybe crazy scavvers or raiders and things like that are living out here in the wastelands. But yeah, you guys are making your way.
You will notice that Kira gets a lot more relaxed once y'all get out onto the road, leaving town. She's a lot more comfortable, feeling at ease, and even starting to be talkative and stuff.
More in
versus in town, yeah.
More
absolutely.
in her natural habitat out here as being a nomad, right? I imagine everybody sees a sort of relaxation in her posture and just like a sense of comfort come out of Kira as you enter the desert. But you have probably about 6+ hours of a drive down to LA from here, depending on speeds obviously and how it goes. But in this bus, that's not far fetched. But you have plenty of time, so I'll let you guys kind of take it from there. As you're taking your ride there, you can recap the previous session, either taking out Orlov family, rescuing Kira's family, maybe getting into that discussion like Looper was just saying to Cynthia, looking forward to meeting your pseudo dad or whatever, referring to her uncle. Maybe you can continue with that conversation, but I'll let you all take the mic. And you also notice Kira getting comfortable. Don't forget that too.
Looper, noticing that she's getting comfortable, just like puts Looper a little bit more at ease, and he starts just capturing kind of just more atmospheric, footage.
Nice. More like entertainment B-roll sort of stuff, like things out here in the wasteland like you don't normally get from Night City. Nice.
Documenting his trip.
Oh yeah, nice.
Should be interesting.
So Cynthia, are you really gonna date this little stinker over here? We're gonna have to deal with this?
Excuse me.
Fun date.
What? We're talking. You shh.
It was kind of a fun date. I'm not gonna lie. I had a good time.
As long as it doesn't affect us when we're doing business.
No. When has he ever affected me? If anything, I'm more than likely just yell at him, make him do things like he's supposed to be doing.
Keep him more in control. Like last time all of us was getting blown up.
Like you're talking about me like I'm not here.
Sore from the head.
The group. That is absolutely the last time we get to go ahead of the group, Looper.
So it's actually pretty quiet. Wolf is you see him kind of staring out the window. He seems kind of like he's far away and seems kind of melancholy. Kind of bringing him back to like his childhood and a lot of things he's lost. So he's just kind of quiet.
Kind of nervous going back home.
What was that?
Nervous.
I'm never home. I don't have the best reputation there.
Aren't you curious of what your uncle wants?
Of course I'm curious. Like, he doesn't really call like that. I really did I get a hello from him at that. So, yeah, I'm a little curious of what he wants.
Wolf, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm okay. This reminds me of growing up. I mean, I grew up around here, so
Oh,
yeah, my
bad memories, good memories.
both. I mean, it was good up until Arasaka came in and my tribe got caught in a crossfire.
Damn.
So, yeah, it's just bringing some things back. Sorry. And I kind of turn away and look at the window again.
Hello, do we need some music or some liquor? You guys have bummed me out on this
liquor.
road
That
trip,
was
Wolf.
Liquor, yeah, that'd be great.
Liquor was
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I could definitely do a shot right now.
I think I never ever had a bummed out road trip with you, Wolf. What's going on?
I don't know.
As soon as somebody mentions liquor, you know, Kara looks back. Cabinet right above you.
Are you sure that's not gonna be more guns?
As soon as you mention liquor, you look over. Kira's right there. Oh, liquor? Wait, who's driving? Oh, yeah, right.
If you're paying attention while she's driving, you will notice her hands are not always on the wheel because she does have interface plugs. So, wheels, the hands don't have to be on the wheel all the time.
Okay, so I walk over there, pull that down. I grab a bottle of tequila, look around, see, I grab down 4 shot glasses and I put them down and pour it across. I'm like, anybody else want anything?
There would definitely be a handgun up there too.
there any beer up
case.
there?
Make mine a double because I don't know how to deal with this, man.
Grab her one, pour it.
I'll take just one.
I'll take
Okay,
one.
pour her one. Take a shot, pour one.
Well, get your hands down. Take one of his fingers away. It should be only a double.
Or take another shot, pour one.
Try and do.
We don't need our soul though, because he's the only one that has really good aim. Well, no, actually, Cynthia, you've been really good these days.
feel like-
So. Go ahead, Wolf.
I know how to shoot a gun.
Looper, I'm still mad at you.
You also know how to blow us all up, so like I don't want to hear it. You're already on it. You're up here because we went on a date. Don't let yourself get down here. I will fight.
Whoa.
Phoenix,
What?
Phoenix, you wait, Phoenix, you're pissed at me?
I'm just teasing. I'm still a little annoyed in my ears. I had to get them all redone and everything.
Hey, I'm so
That
sorry.
hurts. Gotta watch out for you.
Justify
I
the
need my
game.
ears, but I can't hear anything. I'm fucked.
Got Kira's
We
family
talked
back.
about, like, you managed to trigger that, and you were just
Par for the course.
affected by it.
We haven't really had a chat about it.
We were in the back. We were minding our own business, and we were the ones who got blown up and lost our hearing. But you were fine. You got to run around.
It was pretty crazy.
You're just unbelievably lucky.
We had to get out of our system now before we get to play.
True. Yeah. Very
I am
true.
looking forward to going to. I've heard about this. I've heard about LA. Surprisingly, never been there. I heard about this place, Katana, on Sunset Boulevard. Hopefully, it's still there.
You would
But
love
man,
this. So good.
Yeah, I also should add. I feel like the need to just give a slight disclaimer here for Cybernation Uncensored that we are playing a game. We're role playing in real life. Drinking, taking shots with guns, and while driving. That's a no. We don't do that. Don't do that shit. This is
Only
just,
in make believe.
exactly. This is just fucking around in a role playing game. Let me just make sure that's absolutely clear.
they're dangerous people.
Yeah. The characters get crazy and sometimes make wacky decisions, but in real life, nope, none of that shit.
No, we don't. We would never do anything like that.
So
These are all
condone that.
professionals in a controlled environment who know what they're doing. Please don't try to follow or recreate this at home.
We are not role models. Remember that.
yeah,
They're professionals.
exactly. But no, as you're going, why don't Kira give me a perception?
Yep. 1 second. Where am I?
Nice, critical success. Yeah, you and the reason I brought this up with Kira is because it's not something necessarily up ahead that everyone would see while they're in the back of the bus, kind of drinking, having a good time and talking to Kira and everybody socializing. But Kira would see it, being that she's driving and occasionally checking their rear views. But Kira, coming up behind you, you can see kind of like, dust cloud kind of being kicked up on the highway. You can see what looks like some type of caravan of vehicles, definitely more than one, judging by like the dust that's kicking up, but something's tearing down the highway towards you, coming up from behind.
I would alert everybody. Say, be alert. We have other car automobiles coming up behind us. I'm not sure if they're friendly yet.
With that, I'm going to put down the glass, grab an assault rifle, and go to the back. Pop open a window.
Already with the assault rifle.
Yeah, so you would go to the back, and so you'd go through into the bedroom. But in the bedroom, there is a back window that you would be able to pop open to shoot out of. There's also an emergency exit on the top in which somebody could use
nice.
to. So keep that in mind.
And now, what was that last part? It cut out. Sorry.
Yeah, there's an emergency exit on top that you can get up into, and then like I said, there's a back window. There are no other windows in the bedroom area, just a back window.
Okay, and then
specifically for that reason.
no, nice. That's awesome, and it's good to know. So, Wolf, that's what you're seeing. You go back there, and instantly you see that window pops open and look out back. You can give me a perception, Wolf, now that you're back there looking out. But just for fun, as Wolf enters that, I'm curious, Kira, is the bedroom messy? Is the bed made? How's Kira living? What is Wolf looking at?
Oh yeah, the bedroom is definitely a mess. It gets put together. If she's on a long haul where she's going to be, a dignitary that they're doing for the family caravan, then yeah, maybe it gets cleaned up. But if it's just her living in it, no, it's definitely a mess.
Nice. No, I'm always curious about that stuff. That's why I like going over the look, going over little things like that. Just gives just little insights to the character's personality, little quirks, little things like that. But that's a great perception, Wolf. I'll give you that in a minute. But Cynthia, Phoenix, Looper, what are you three doing? As Kira mentions all that, you see Wolf kind of go to the back. What's Cynthia doing?
She kind of preps herself, gets a gun ready, waits for Wolf's call to let us know what's going on.
And Phoenix?
Phoenix takes her jacket and just zips it up a little bit, and she just waits. She grabs her little scent coke out, because that's her little, if she got to fight a fight, she'd take her scent coke, but she's waiting. She don't want to just take it for no reason. So she's just sitting there waiting, calmly with her jacket zipped up, because that's her armor.
Are we all just going to wait for the hoopla?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
And Looper?
Somebody go sit in the passenger seat.
What's Looper doing?
And then Looper would give a glance over to Phoenix and be like, "Keep that shit away from me," as he takes out old Betsy and be like, "All right, here we go, guys. This is what we do." And starts just filming, having Wolf in the side frame, but focusing out the back.
Nice. And then, yeah, as everybody's kind of getting into position like you just described, Looper prepping with the cam, Phoenix kind of ready to do some synth coke and get into action if needed. Cynthia also standing by if needed. Kira obviously driving the vehicle, seeing this caravan or whatever it is back there approaching. But Wolf, you peek out the back window, getting a much better look from this point of view, just a direct view. And yeah, it's a caravan of vehicles, but you can see it looks like there's a couple trucks pulling what looks like might be trailers. It looks like there might be like a van or some type of like SUV in front of that. Maybe you can see like a couple motorcycles cutting in and out of that caravan, whether they're on the side or inline coming in and out. So like you can tell it's definitely a caravan of at least like maybe 5-6 vehicles, including a couple motorcycles, which to you and Kira especially, if you were to describe that, you would know it sounds like some type of transport, whether corporate or nomad. Very typical of that.
Okay, and I'll pass that on. Yeah, it looks like a nomad transport. So they look okay. They don't look aggressive at the moment, but I'll keep an eye on them back here.
So yeah, Kira will be also, listening on to the radio, the CB radio, and listening for any communication in between, to further make sure they who it is, whether it's somebody that she's aware of, being that this is the area that they normally travel in. I figure they would know the more usual nomad tribes that operate on this part of the coast.
Yeah, sure. Give me, I'll let you choose some type of basic tech. This is just to see, I want to see if you're lucky enough on a basic DV to kind of catch some CB chatter or something possibly. Without just doing a luck check, I'm willing to take any sort of tech skill that you can associate with CB. I'll let you be creative with that. While you look at that too, I'll also add, because we didn't mention it earlier, we completely forgot. We should have that conversation at least at one point, maybe after we settle this. But when everyone was getting onto the bus, Cynthia not only had, what is it, Emma, your netrunner assistant, but you had a new assistant with you, a tech named Anchor. But we'll get into that in a moment. We'll just say everyone was busy reminiscing and chatting. Little nice bedside manner introductions were kind of missed here or something. Like, you noticed they got on but haven't really discussed it yet. Yeah, what kind of check?
I did a land vehicle tech 23, I think. That's what I got.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, as you kind of scroll through the CB, you pick up on a channel where you can hear some typical nomad chatter. It's not coming across like any type of like corporate caravan. You're definitely getting some typical nomad keywords and things. Just discussing traveling, how shipments holding down, caravan speeds. You hear them talking about somebody catch up to the pack, things like that. So you can kind of, without having to do a deduction roll, you put it together. It's a nomad pack doing some type of transport. You also hear a mention, hey, there's transport up ahead. Keep a lookout. Let's get around them. Things like that. Heads up. Chatter like that.
So yeah, she would, at that point, she would identify who she is with the name of their tribe, their family, and start trying to just having having communication between the two, kind of get a feel of where they might be headed. If they're heading towards LA, see if we might be able to tag along with them.
Yeah, give me a conversation check.
Oh, that's a great one. I have points, and sure. Conversation. Where is conversation? Conversation. Yeah, hey, look, I got 2 points in it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, okay, critical success.
Yeah, you mention all that, and the voice comes back. Just explaining. Yeah, we're on a caravan. We're heading to LA. Please just stay out of the way. No room for tag-alongs. Please just keep this channel clear for us. Thanks so much. And they get off. They give you a little bit of respect. They know maybe that you're nomad as well, based on the things that you were saying there. But you get the feeling that they're all business. They're not really in the mood to chatter. They don't want to tag along. None of that shit.
Okay, so I would just keep going. I've never slowed down. I'm just keeping speed. But if they pass us, they pass us. But I'm still keeping an eye on them in between with the rear view mirrors and everything.
Yeah, and as you keep speed, this caravan catches up. Doesn't take them much time at all. You can tell they're moving at top speeds. As they kind of go around you, you feel kind of the wind shaking.
I moved to the right, so
Nice.
make sure that they have the more space.
Yeah, you go by, and that polite maneuver warrants a couple little honks on the trucks. You notice a couple of them just kind of give you a gesture, fellow nomad to nomad sort of thing, as they tear on by. And yeah, it looks like a couple semis pulling some trailers. It looks like there is an SUV leading the way. There's a couple cyber bikes kind of riding on the side that fall in behind where there's like another van, and it looks like a truck with some cargo in the back of that. But they just kind of tear by you and go off ahead down the highway, off into the horizon. And let's take this moment as everyone goes. I mean, who would now all of a sudden notice, like, wait a minute, like, hey, what's up, Emma? And we noticed, Cynthia, you got somebody else? Like, who would notice that? Since we all kind of forgot that. I forgot to mention it.
I forgot we got a new staff member. His name is Anchor.
What I know who that was.
He is a technician with a corporation now. He's such a lovely person. Anchor, go ahead and introduce yourself to the rest of the group.
Yeah, why don't you explain before I introduce myself as Anchor, what kind of personality does he have? Obviously, he's a tech. He's young. We'll say in the 3 days downtime where you had to get your ears fixed and any healing, he showed up to the door. He read the article. He saw the scream sheet. He was impressed. He's an upcoming, tech trying to be an assistant to an exec. Tracked you down and offered his services. Seemed like he was cool. Seemed loyal. Loved what you guys are doing. But what's his personality like? What does he look like? Let's describe all that.
I feel like he's a young go-getter, kind of energetic, kind of very personable, very open to speaking to people. A lot more, we're looking for. A lot more social than most techs you'd find. He hasn't had that rough and gruffness that a lot of techs you would come across nowadays would have because he's still very young into it.
Okay, cool. What's he look like?
Young man, early 20s, blue hair, green eyes, kind of brawny-ish, but definitely seems to know what he's doing.
Nice. I imagine he's always wearing, like, if not jumpsuit style stuff, maybe cargo pant clothing style combos with lots of pockets and things where he has like tool kits and little things to do tech sort of jobs. But yeah, when you say that, he looks at everyone. I'm like, hey, what's up? Yeah, everybody calls me Anchor. I'm just happy to be here. Cynthia's told me about everybody. I'm just happy. I haven't said anything up till now. It's been kind of quiet in the back because you have all been catching up. But yeah, nice to meet you.
Hey, Wolf, one shot. Come back in.
Well,
Sit back down.
No, I try not to drink and get shaky hands when I try to work on things.
If you want to work on things, I got some loose springs in this camera that sometimes it just jumps up in the middle of the night, hits me in the head while I'm sleeping. Like I have a hard time keeping it down. So if you can get that fixed.
Oh yeah, I can work on it right away. He takes it and starts looking at it, pulls out some tools. Then he pulls out what looks like some type of spliff. He's like, oh, I got some synth crip. Anybody smokes? It helps me zone out on my work. And
Oh, goodness. That's good news.
Smokes. Doesn't drink, but
He
smokes.
has a new friend.
Yeah, he's quite an interesting character. That's why we have him around.
And he lights up and starts maybe talking a little slower now. Maybe he's not as hyper as normal, but you notice he doesn't do as much talking. Kind of zones out on his work and starts fixing your cam and whatever you need there, Looper. Aside from that, Emma says hi. Says it's good to see everybody. She's here if anybody needs any net running things. Just keep that in mind. I'm always here.
I hope your sister's doing all right.
Yeah, no, I heard from her. She's helping family with all the transports and stuff, so it's going good. They'll be getting back to me soon, hopefully in the near future when they get to the new spot. And also, I mentioned about the netrunner thing, just out of character, just as GM to players, just as that reminder. Just like I forgot to mention the new tech anchor. All of you as players, remember, and especially Cynthia, that you have, Anchor and Emma. You have a netrunner and you have a tech. So having both of those, it's important to call on them when you need them. If there's any net running thing that you need, any sort of techie thing that you need, you have them in the team. I'll try to remember as well, to incorporate them into some of the gameplay. But I like to have them kind of at the call of Cynthia for the most part, or the rest of the team being that they're her assistant. But yeah, you guys continue to travel. That caravan now has disappeared off into the horizon. You're all hanging out. Anchor's smoking out, working on the cam, fixing things with the spring and such. And Emma's just kind of chilling out. So she's going to take a nap till you guys get to LA. Wake her up if you need her. What's everybody else doing?
Feel free to use the bed in the back. If you need some quiet, close the door.
I appreciate it.
Actually it makes it very quiet, actually, even with the noise in the front.
Yeah, she pulls out one of those masks things and she puts it on, and it's funny. It looks like one of those masks that covers your eyes when you sleep, but the print on it makes it look like she has virtuality goggles on. For a netrunner, it's just a cute little funny night mask, But she puts that on and goes and lays down in the back. What's
I
up?
go take another shot. What?
I'm finishing off this bottle of tequila.
I know. I would lean over and grab some from you. I'm like, stop being such a hog. I said one, but then you just take the whole thing. I like to space my shots out. Jeez. Always
Gary
running over. That's how we always get the roaches with you.
Under our breath and going, God, I'm glad I didn't tell me what the good stuff was.
Wait, what'd you say? I got sonic hearing. I can hear that.
Yeah, why doesn't Kira give a stealth roll and Phoenix give me a perception roll?
I forgot about that. What role am I giving you? Stealth, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Stealth. I have some points in that one.
And this should be Phoenix. You should get also a +2 on that because of the hearing. This is a hearing skill check.
Yeah.
So that would be a 16, which is a tie. Goes to the defender, which is Jamie. But yeah, Phoenix, you think you heard her say something, but you're not sure exactly what she just whispered under her breath. But you know it's something.
What? You said something. I'm going to catch it later. I won't be nosy.
I was just saying, is everyone comfortable?
And I know Cynthia's grabbing insulin for Will and Naomi's doggy. So let's go ahead and take our 5-minute bio break as Kira. But before you do that, everyone give me a perception real quick. Sorry I said Kira at first, but it should be everyone. This is something up ahead.
31.
Nice, yeah. I'd say that's a good. And Looper, wow, that's great too.
I got a 10.
Yeah, definitely. Wolf and Looper, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, Wolf and Looper. As Kira's driving up and you're all joking around about things and whatnot, you do notice that there's something up ahead. You've been traveling for hours, kind of talking. LA isn't that far away. In fact, you can even see a little bit of glow on the horizon. You can see where some of the highways kind of open up with signage up ahead. But you can see that there's some type of blockade or something going on up ahead. And yeah, this is where we'll take our 5-minute bio break. So don't anybody go anywhere. We'll be back in just 5 minutes. I'm going to leave the mics hot, so if anybody wants to chat about what that might be, go for it. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I gotta go check on my monster. He's barking outside.
Awesome. I should be able to get rank 6 after tonight.
Woot woot. You need how much to get to 6?
Here, just stepped away for a second. 360.
360. Yeah. A little bit away from that still.
Awesome. We got another person following.
What was that?
We got another person that followed.
All right. Got Joe inside, so stop barking.
Well, we couldn't hear him at all, so.
They like to, the kids play on our cul-de-sac, and he just loves to go in circles and bark and run up and down and go in a circle like a Tasmanian devil. He's silly.
So my filmmaker buddy, BJ, that I work with and do stuff, he helps produce stuff, and he's an actor too. He's been in some pretty cool stuff, but he just hit me up. He texted me saying, "Hey, Andy, Dick just got arrested again." What the fuck?
Oh, Andy.
Oh.
So now I'm curious what the hell Andy got arrested for again.
He's such a great actor and such a mess.
What's up, Raven? See you in chat.
Raven!
Gave you a shout out earlier.
Andy Dick was arrested again?
Again. Yeah.
Again.
It's like if he's not getting beat up, he's getting arrested. It's so shitty.
Guy. Well, I mean, people always hear the worst of him. I mean, it's not like anyone hears how Steve Guttenberg offered this set coke on a children's film.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. I'm sorry. Oh, we're still live. I'm sorry.
Yeah, our mics are hot.
Yeah, it was a personal opinion, not an opinion of this channel.
Opinions do
I'm
not
gonna mute
represent the
them.
feelings of the Cyberpunk Uncensored.
I need to grab my shades again.
Rob, we got another follower while you were away on Twitch.
Nice.
Nice. Can't find it. All right. Well, whatever.
Oh, it's big.
Oh. We lost Will.
He went to go get his sunglasses.
Oh, okay. Gutenberg.
She's got her mirror shades on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Gutenberg.
You got really dark, Will. Oh, I think you froze.
I did. Let me.
Oh,
Finish.
no.
He's
We good?
not.
Left the
He's
game.
right first.
You good?
No.
Oh.
I mean, you're there, but you're pretty dark.
Oh yeah, that's. I don't have any other light, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
To work on that, yeah, and I get a little more light in here. Otherwise, yeah, I'm the dark one.
Use
Oh,
your
I
cell phone light under your chin so it's like gross lighting, but still we see you.
Let me have to abandon my Cyberpunk Red app. Which, if anybody uses the Cyberpunk Red app, give a shout out in chat because that's a cool app.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Kitty!
He has arrived.
Kitty.
Kitty,
He,
wonder how long-
he always
wonder how
knows
long
right
that'll
where the
last.
right time is.
He does. It's Milo.
Oh yeah, that's Gnostics' cat Hobbs.
He's absolutely like.
All right, cool. Okay. Are we ready to go back? I'm all set up.
Yeah.
Everyone ready?
We're all here.
All right, we're officially back from break. Everyone can see us. Well, they've been able to hear us. Now they can see us too, so that's good. What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for. Oh, and now we lose Naomi. Great. I just said, "Are we ready to go back?" She's like, "Nope."
It's a quick thing.
All right, she's back. All right.
Chaotic.
All right, here we go. All right, everybody's back. Thanks everybody in chat for hanging out. Hey, welcome Raven. I know you're on break, tuning in. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the team's going down the highway. They left Night City on the way to Los Angeles. And they've been cruising for hours and hours. Not much out here, as you can imagine, along the wasteland, with the exception of a big nomad sort of transport caravan that whipped past them hours ago outside of Night City when they were first kind of heading out. But other than that, they've just been traveling, getting to know, we'll say, Anchor a little bit better, Cynthia's new assistant tech, along with Emma, the netrunner, and everybody's just been hanging out, kind of smoking, having a couple shots, just passing the time. But after hours and hours of traveling, like I said before break, everyone kind of, well, not everyone, but mainly Looper and Wolf, I think, had the best perception. While everyone's socializing, you do notice something up ahead on the road off in the distance. Looks like some type of blockade or something. Kira doesn't even notice, having a good time driving and socializing, but Looper and Wolf do.
Yo.
Hey, Kira, heads up. Look up there.
Yes.
Something's going on. I'm
What
gonna-
do we got here?
Grab that assault rifle again and kind of bring it back.
Yeah, and I'll say even, that was such a good perception. I think Wolf had like 30 something. What did you have? Didn't you have-
31.
Yeah, 30. I'll say with that, not only does Looper and Wolf see that there's something up ahead, but Wolf, you can clearly see, some lights within the blockade. Like it's obviously some type of like police or authority presence. Judging by the lights, the flashing lights. Really
Yeah,
far
it
in the
looks like
distance.
Some kind of law enforcement of some sort.
Some kind.
Are we coming into LA?
You see that Kira, as soon as you mention that it's law enforcement ahead, is her mood changes. She's more nervous. You can definitely tell she's uncomfortable with the word that there's a law enforcement blockade up ahead.
Are we coming into LA? Is this like on the outskirts of the city?
Yeah, this is, you can assume you're probably about maybe about 30 minutes or so from LA, 30 minutes to an hour outside of LA. Like I said, in the far distance, you can see some of the glow of the city. LA is very large, very widespread. But you can see a little bit of a glow off in the distance. This is obviously ahead of that. You can see a blockade that's still off in the distance. But yeah, absolutely. This looks like it's, half an hour to an hour outside of the city. And you can even see some of the old highways signage where once there was more extensive working highways and things. Now it's kind of this one main in and out up this west coast. But yeah, you're getting close to LA. Bless you.
Kira would motion to somebody to grab the wheel for a moment. And if somebody would grab the wheel, she's going to go through and all those secret compartments. She's closing cabinet doors, moving bottles back in front of everything, hiding all those storage.
Well, I do have a. Maybe I don't. Thought I had a little bit of a. I don't. Thought I could drive this thing. Not within my wheelhouse.
Uh-oh.
I don't think any of us can drive.
Yeah, can any? I don't think anyone has.
Then if no one else can drive, then she would be barking out, get those cabinets closed, move those bottles back in front, move those dishes in front of those guns.
Oh yeah, as soon as you said the police,
everything back in.
Phoenix was already looking somewhere to put. She's all tapping stuff.
Talk about
Kira,
a
you're gonna have to teach us how to drive, man.
Yeah. Between not being able to drive, having everything out, and then smoking, drinking, like talk about a buzzkill. You're feeling like you're back in like high school or something, and like the lights are behind the car, and you're like, oh no, I shouldn't have. Why? But yeah, as you're getting closer, yeah, you can tell it is some type of police roadblock of such. In fact, as you get closer and closer, I'll say Kira, you should absolutely recognize this. Wolf maybe a little bit too, especially being older, being around pre-Fourth Corporate War and a little more traveled with the nomad background. Looper maybe in some research might know about this as well, but I would say mainly Kira. Yeah, you can see that up. It looks like county mounties and recovery zone marshals are blocking the highway, and you see one of those. Big tank rollers is blocking the main highway, which is like this huge sort of like black chromed vehicle with these huge like almost like pavement flattener rollers, like from a construction vehicle. It almost looks like that, and they're huge. They're called like tank rollers. These new sort of mech vehicles that the the county mounties and recovery zone marshals have been known to use out on the highways and recovery zones to kind of block big roadways and things like that. They're huge. And in fact, in Roll 20, let me bring up, and I keep referencing Roll 20, even though we are officially sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, we will be making that transition over time. I'll be making official announcements about that soon. But till then, we're still using the Roll 20 for imagery and maps and things. So let me bring that up for the team so you can see what you're approaching.
And what would I know of their reputation? Are they known to be on, just what is overall their reputation? Are they, doing good? Or are they known to be, I don't know. What would I know of these groups?
Yeah, why don't you, you recognize that that's what they are. Sorry, I noticed the cameras were frozen there before chat lets me know. I saw it, trying to unfreeze them, but let me bring up at least the map so you can look at it. Why don't you give me 1d10, Kira? And you can see that huge sort of tank roller with one of the recovery zone marshals kind of standing up out of it. And behind him, you can see lights. There's more patrol vehicles. You even see an AV, some cyber bikes, things like that.
Do I want low? Because I rolled a 1.
Nice. Yeah, but with a rep check, you want to roll under.
Okay.
So 1 is actually
Yep.
great. You're very familiar, exceptionally familiar with the county mounties and the recovery zone marshals. They're, all business. As long as you're not fucking with them, they're not fucking with you. If you're just kind of like falling in line and doing what they're telling you, you're pretty much good to go. Just like...
Okay.
With a lot of these out here, it's not like city police and stuff where there's a lot more corruption and shit like that. Like out here, there's not a lot of interaction for them. It's very caravan based, very open highway based, with the exception of the recovery zone marshals, which sometimes have to deal with rundown cities, scavers, things outside of the city. But for the most part, these are the people that patrol around the cities, make sure that whoever's coming and going isn't messing shit up. They are supposed to be there or supposed to be coming and going. They're also usually in place if something bad happens or if they need to check for things. But yeah, they're not really considered bad guys by any means, and that's what you know about.
So once she starts feeling a little more comfortable, once she's able to identify who they are, she's like, okay, this hopefully shouldn't be any kind of problem. Might slow us down for a little bit, but these guys are pretty trustworthy. They're just doing their job.
Gotcha.
So yeah, as we come up to the blockade, I of course will slow down the vehicle. If they're having us stop, of course, I would stop the vehicle.
Yeah, you pull up and you stop and you see like what you see there on roll 20. Just brought up the image again. Some of the old highways that are now since closed. You're on kind of the main highway leading into LA. You see some of the signage there, and you see a sergeant. They're a recovery zone marshal, rather, up on the tank roller. And then as you get up and you kind of stop, like I said, you notice the other vehicles, even an AV. You notice a couple cyber bikes, some other authorities or police-looking people, county mounties, based on the uniforms. And one of them approaches. You can tell by the bars it's a sergeant. But he approaches the vehicle, tells you to roll down the window.
Well, I open the window. There's not really a roll down, but okay.
They're open, yeah, sure.
I slide open the window. Or I open up the door depending which side they're coming up.
Yeah, ultimately
on.
he gestures to
If they're
put the
coming up
window.
on the passenger side, or if they're coming up the passenger side, then I open up the door. If they're coming up on the driver's side, then I will slide open the window that's next to me.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because he's at the driver's side, gesturing for you to roll down, open, or slide, or however, just open it so you guys can communicate. But the fact that you mentioned the other side, when you look over, you do see there is another. Look like county mountie or somebody over on the other side of your vehicle, just checking the vehicle and kind of walking up and down on the other side. But he gestures, and as you open, he says, you coming into LA, or what's your purpose here?
Yeah, we are coming into LA. We've been requested to come into the city by one of our team members' family member.
Okay. You have a state ID number? You got any residence ID, anything? LA otherwise, any other city ID? Anybody here?
Do I?
This is kind of a personal player preference. I always kind of allow players to gauge how they would be. In my other teams and campaigns, sometimes players, like if they're more of that role that might mess with real jobs or have an ID in the city at Night City, absolutely, you would have an ID for Night City, be able to come in and out of clubs, much easier things. There's also a state identification number, a SIN sort of card that's been around since the days of 2020, even though the state is kind of fragmented city for city and stuff. It looks like they're just asking for some type of ID, and without even having to do a deduction, Kira, you would... Yeah, okay. And then, Kira, you would know they're probably asking just to make sure that you guys aren't like some booster gang or scavers or something like that. Like, he just wants to see some type of identification to show that, like, you're civilized somewhere, Yeah,
because, with my clan working a lot with corporations, I would pull out an ID that I have along with maybe some papers that with who I'm with and kind of hand it to them.
Nice. Yeah, I would
Sure
imagine
thing.
Kira might even have like some type of like state ID number associated with the clan for
Yeah.
traveling and caravanning, being a nomad. What about everybody else? I imagine Cynthia would be an exec, have some type of Night City ID.
Yeah, I do.
Looper probably too, being a media, but that's
Yep.
by choice. Okay. Phoenix and Wolf, absolutely up to you two. Being a solo, a fixer, I could see it going both ways, and you could reason it either way. You tell me.
I have a Militech ID from
Okay. Nice.
so
Somebody's ID.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say fixer. Phoenix as a fixer might have multiple IDs. Actually, it wouldn't be far fetched to think that Phoenix is like, shuffling like, which one today? Like.
She don't know what's in her purse. That's whatever she pulls out.
Pick an ID.
That's
She tells the
Karen.
she tells the officer, pick an ID, any ID. Like it's a card game or something, like a magic trick or something.
She changed. She got eye color changing, so she's always.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. But no, that's great. Everybody has at least something. Kira ultimately would be able to kind of hold it down for everyone, being the nomad, being the driver. But he takes the IDs, kind of looks at, well, everything looks in order. He hands it right back, doesn't even run it, doesn't even do any checks or anything, just kind of sees that they're there, looks at you all, looks in, hands them back. Okay, well, look, we have a situation on the main highway. You're welcome to post up while we get it cleared. It might be through the night. This is a pretty big deal. We got construction crews coming out, some giraffes doing cleanup. Your alternate, you're welcome to off-road on the service road here. Take the service road into LA, but if you do that, I would suggest a couple things. Don't stop for anyone or anything. Don't get out of your vehicles till you hit the neon wall.
Yeah, so, she would thank him, and she would go to pull off onto the service road. Unless somebody says otherwise. She would feel comfortable enough to pulling off onto the server road and just continuing on.
As you're pulling off, Looper to be like, what did she tell us not to do?
Stay in the car. What are we doing?
We're not stopping from here to the city.
Gotcha.
Yeah, how dangerous could it be? We live in Night City. I mean, it doesn't get much more dangerous than that.
Why don't they want us to stop?
Yeah. Okay. Well, can I have my
Out
coat
here,
back?
when you're not in the cities, stopping is always a questionable thing to do in the first place.
Oh,
Yeah, I was kind of
my
concerned.
red alarms are going off, man. If people don't tell us to not do something, that means something's afoot.
Yeah, I'm keeping my gun handy. It's going to be in hand, so
We just follow the directions and go.
Yeah.
I want to know what happens if we do stop, whether that be from them or from whatever else is out here that they're afraid of us stopping for them to get to us.
Yeah, and as you pull, Kira, what was that, Wolf?
it's kind of made me paranoid. I'm keeping a close eye out the windows for any kind of thing as we're going through here.
Yeah, I would say, even without having to do a perception check, would it be one of those moments you see a little bit of that PTSD setting in on Wolf a little bit? Going from a little bit lackadaisical, looking out into the wasteland memories, to having some drinks and a good time, to now being a little more on edge combat sense style. But yeah, Kira heads off of the main highway onto one of the service roads. As you can see, it kind of goes along the side of the highway down into what used to be kind of, I don't want to say suburbs, but a lot of industrial zone, regulated, a lot of mass living quarters, not really like mega complexes, because this is kind of prior to the big build outs and what they had, what was forced living after the big floods that happened in LA from the earthquakes back in the day. But we're seeing out here what looks like, the most you can associate is like scavvers, raider style people, because as you're going through, it's like a lot of rundown buildings, not a lot of power. You can see like the occasional kind of like flicker of fire coming from inside some of the buildings, or like a barrel, some people gathered around here and there, like in a building or alleyway. But for the most part, it looks like no man's land out here, very wasteland. Hence the authorities saying, don't stop, don't get out of the vehicles, just keep going till you get into the neon wall.
So just like home.
Yeah, just like home. But yeah, you guys start traveling through this, making your way alongside the highway. And as you start passing down the service road, one thing that you notice is up on the main highway, all those county mounties and reclaim and recovery zone marshals and some of the LAPD vehicles and AVs with the lights going. And then you see some trucks, a bunch of debris and things kind of on the highway, and then you see like two big semis kind of smoldering, wrecked over, and a big AV. You can see a couple bodies hanging outside of some of the trucks, and you recognize it's that Nomad caravan that tore past you earlier on the highway, and it looks like they wrecked, some type of ambush, something happened, but it's a complete wreck.
Oh.
Real friends of yours, huh?
See? Look what happens when you go wandering off the roads.
I think we need to be really alert here. I want to see if I can
They
see.
stayed on the road, remember?
That's what was blocking the road.
Go up.
Phoenix.
That's on the highway.
Oh, we've seen it from the main road, but we've seen
Yes.
that's what the police were saying we're blocking?
Yeah, that's why we had to pull off. That's why we pulled off to the service road, because the highway was blocked by this.
Oh, I need another shot. Jesus Christ.
That's not the first time I've seen that kind of stuff, honestly.
Oh, Lordy.
These are the dangers of the roads. So.
I
As
wonder what
Kira
hit them.
pushes down on the pedal a little bit harder and speeds through along the service roads.
Yeah, you keep tearing down through the service roads. What was that, Wolf?
I assume it'd have to be a pretty big explosion to cause that kind of damage. That was set up long before they got there.
Yeah, it would definitely seem like it was some type of bigger planned operation or whatnot, because that was definitely a pretty big caravan for it to all be completely disrupted like that. But yeah,
Sarah, do you hear anything on your chat on your radio?
Have I heard anything as far
Yeah, on the radio or
on
anything?
the
in
radio
chat?
or anything?
no. I mean, other than them saying keep clear on the channel, I haven't really been back on their channel. But if you check it now, yeah, it's radio silence. Doesn't seem like any of them are still up on that channel.
Yeah, I mean that would be something I would be periodically doing anyway. I would be listening on the chatter.
Nice. Yeah, and as Kira's kind of picking up speed down these service roads, just following the highway, heading towards LA, everybody give me a perception.
I got a 17.
17.
Nice.
22.
Always outperforming.
15.
Wolf's always got to show off.
22.
Look at me, I'm a solo.
Blowing up water. I don't understand.
No, but yeah, I mean, there's enough there to at least get the basics of how I described kind of the area out here. It's very desperate. If there's dystopian future in Cyberpunk, this is the dystopian of the dystopian area, even beyond combat zone in a sense for lacking power. It's very, very, living off the land out here. But the other thing that you notice is, yeah, LA is up ahead. It's getting closer, and how you notice it is there is a sort of, as that marshal or sergeant described, a neon wall. Like you can kind of see up ahead. Now that it's kind of getting into the evening times and the sun's going down, there's still the sort of red haze to the sky that you would normally get at night as it gets darker. But up ahead in LA, you're seeing, like, from all the signage, all the neons, the power, there's almost like a wall of neon coming from this, like, lack of power wastelands where, like, you just hit this neon wall entering the city. You even see some familiar signage up there. Like, you see, like, a Danger Girl logo and, Petrochem, and, like, there's just a couple companies. Like, obviously they have, offices there because you're seeing ads and things like that. But yeah, lots of neon, and you also see heavy smog, just heavy pollution over the entire LA area. I mean, if you've been to LA now, just take that times 20. for the time of Red, on top of already, blood rains and things like that going on. LA is just known for acid rains, blood rains, sludge. There's almost an ongoing sort of smog in this city where outside, for perception checks visually, you always have a -2, unless you're relying on like infrared and things like that for the moment. So keep that in mind. And on certain days when the smog gets so thick, you've heard rumors that, without nasal filters, you might even be taking negatives to actions and things if you fail to resist and torture drugs. So keep that in mind. On some days it can get like that. But yeah, has anyone else been to LA before? Has Cynthia been here? Looper, Wolf, Kira, Phoenix?
Originally from LA, I think.
Yeah, I've been through here.
Kira's
Looper
probably been through many times.
Looper's never been to LA, but he met Cynthia after she was fresh out of LA and her party days.
Hey. Air's behavior.
Nice. And then, right when you're noticing all that, Wolf, with that extra perception and those awesome perceptive skills, you notice, like, up ahead in the darkness of these two alleys, like on either side of the street, a couple like some motion, like there's some people up ahead in an alleyway on either side, and it looks like they tossed something out into the middle of the road, something small.
Hey, Kira, heads up.
And this is how far ahead of us?
Ambush ahead. They just threw something out in the road.
I mean, it looks like it could be about a block ahead. Just enough time. Luckily, Wolf had the perception to give you the heads up, Kira. You could stop. These are your options. You could stop at this point, be in the block ahead. There's no roads to turn sideways, or you can try to swerve around this, whatever they threw out in the middle of the road, which swerving would be DV 13.
Yeah, I'll attempt to swerve. I'm not stopping.
Okay.
What am I rolling? Driving?
Driving, yeah. Give me your driving skill. Land vehicle.
Hold on!
Brace yourselves.
And Lucky Wolf saw that, calling it out. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the chance to swerve this. Nice.
Wow!
Yeah, you avoided it like a champ. And as you go by, you swerve. Wolf, you even notice, like, yeah, it looks like there's 2 or 3 people in this alley, 2 people in this alley, posted up. They're all holding things, but you go by so fast, it's hard to see. As Kira goes by, you see an explosion.
A little bit of squealing of the back wheels.
Oh yeah, a little slide out, but with skill. I mean, that's a great land vehicle skill check there. You had such a great roll. I mean, you slid around it like with purpose. Like you drifted around it on purpose, and this thing kind of explodes, as obviously they were triggering some type of mine. But there were some people there as you swerve around.
Everyone, keep your eyes open until we get into the city.
Holy shit!
Yeah, give me another perception check.
All of us?
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, where did mine go? 13.
19.
8.
Damn.
14.
I can see into the future.
Nice. Yeah. Again, Wolf and who got the
Cynthia.
Yeah, 28.
Nice. Jamie. Kira got 19, right?
Yep.
Anybody get? Okay. Yeah. No, that's great. Wolf, Kira. Anybody above 17? Yeah. You notice a slight flash of like some metal moving up ahead. It's easy to see because of this, this whole area just being kind of dull and dirty and no power, no neons, no lights out here really for the most part, with the exception of some fire. But you can see like a little bit of like metal reflection up ahead, maybe the flash of a scope or something to that effect. And Wolf, yeah, you can make out the details. You see there's 2 guys up ahead. One has some type of rocket launcher and they're just like posted up. Looks like they're directed right at the bus.
Can I tag that guy with a rocket launcher?
Oh yeah, you've noticed this guy, and you've seen this up ahead before you're to the point where you've got to do initiative or they're gonna shoot. You see them prepping for you approaching, basically.
He said I would have seen them as well?
Oh yeah, you saw it too.
I'm the only one that's not paying attention.
So how far away are they?
About 2 blocks, about a block and a half or so.
Are we in the clear? What's going
So
on?
yeah, in distance, for firing purposes, as you're approaching, before they would have to hit initiative for them to shoot. Yeah, you're probably at about 50 meters right now. When you
And they're on which
when,
side of the street are they on?
they're on the right side of the street. As you're driving, they're on this side of the street.
Passenger
side, yeah. Yeah, and they're about you're slowly approaching to that 25 meter mark. You still have the jump on them. You can still.
Yeah, I want to take a shot at this guy and try to hit the one that's got the rocket launcher and possibly knock it out of his hand. So I'm aiming for that side.
Use the points.
Do you want to do it between, around that 50-55 meter range, or do you want to wait till you hit up in that 25 meter range?
I want to do it the 50 range,
Okay.
the 13 one.
Use one of the +2s.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have
Plus
8
2.
+2s and 1 -2.
Well, I get the -2.
We don't need to remind the GM for
Don't
that.
remind him.
But yeah, go for it. You're looking at a 13. If you do the +2, just add it to your modifiers, and yeah, give me your assault rifle. Give me your shoulder arms.
Don't love in the chat tonight.
Oh yeah, thanks, Raven. Bunch more +2s there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You guys got so many +2s. Kira's about to pull over and get out of the vehicle. She's all cocky now. She's like, I got so many +2s. I'm getting out.
So that's going to be a.
Kira is grabbing her sniper
That's
rifle
a
and
20.
opening up the side window just in case.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's a hit. Give me damage.
Yeah, 19.
Absolute menace with the assault rifle, man.
Nice. Was that a critical?
No.
No, it's just
3,
a-
3,
Oh, okay.
4, 6.
Nice. Well, yeah, you see, just in the distance as you take that shot off, just a huge spray of red. You can tell you did a significant amount of damage to this person. What's the rest of you doing? You see Wolf take this shot off in the distance, mentioning somebody up there with a rocket launcher. Kira maybe mentioned it as well as she's approaching. Looper getting the camera going is what that gesture was.
Yep.
Pulls out her pistol. Just, home sweet home.
What about Phoenix?
So, because I just take some just fun, just be happy. But I don't want to waste it. I'm going to take
Wolf,
another
let me know.
shot. She just takes another shot.
If you take another shot, you're going to have to do a resist torture and drugs to be addicted to Smash. I forget what the DV, I think it's 13 if somebody can check that. But yeah, give me a resist torture and drugs if you're doing another shot.
Right?
Alright, hold on. Where is it?
And somebody check that for me if you've got it open.
I'm pretty sure it's a DV13. I think you got it right,
Yeah,
bud.
13
Okay.
for smash.
Where is it under again?
Drugs, smash.
Resist
It's a
torture and
DV of
drugs.
15. It's a DV of 15.
Oh, there
Oh,
it is.
15, okay. And if she fails,
Oh,
Which
can I
she
use
did.
my luck? Can I use my luck real quick?
you can use luck at double the cost. So yeah, you would have to use
All my luck.
2
You wanna
points
take
of
one?
luck. 2 points of luck to be able to get up to 15.
Yeah. 2 points.
So yeah,
of
you
luck.
can do that. Okay. Now you do it. You're fine. You take your shot. You're not addicted. You don't need any negatives or problems with Smash or whatever, or this liquor. So yeah, you're fine. You take that shot.
Good luck with alcohol.
Yeah. And now, why don't you give me everybody? Let me pull your tokens out here, and then give me initiative. Let me see here. Kira, Looper, Phoenix. Just remember, you got to click on your token and then click initiative.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
It's a select.
Yeah, during this time, Kira would have just put her foot down on the pedal.
Yeah.
Where's my token?
Oops.
Oh, there it is.
I just moved them around. Sorry.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
There we go. I'll bring it up so everybody can see it from chat. Thanks,
Initiative.
Thanks, Rob, Grad, Nicholas, Nick. Got that -2.
Where's my token?
Oh,
Under mine.
hold on. Is it there? Oh yeah, it's right there. It should be there. That blue one, right?
Yeah, it's under Phoenix. Under mine.
Is that it?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like a floating blue body.
Where's the button for initiative?
Do you see it?
Oh, there it
Kira?
is. There it is. I don't know why it was.
I've got an initiative.
Seen it.
Ah, you killed my hometown advantage. How could you? I was so close. I was so close.
Nice.
How
All right.
dare you?
So yeah, Looper.
That's
Yeah, you're now approaching that that 25 meter range. You saw Wolf take a shot off at these guys. You see two of them now. You can see them as well. One of them with a rocket launcher. Looks like he's kind of prepping up after he just took a shot. Another guy's kind of posted up next to him. Can't tell what he has or is doing. But it's your turn. About 25 meters away. What's Looper doing?
I don't know what happened to my character sheet just now.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Karma.
You made it really small.
Oh yeah, sometimes that happens. If you accidentally click the minimize, it'll go. It's hard to find it. It'll be like way down in the bottom right.
25 meters. While he's still filming, he's gonna just take a quick shot up
Sure.
out the window.
What do you have? Is it handgun or rifle? What do you?
Handgun.
Okay, yeah. Give me your handgun. 25 meters. So you're looking at difficulty. Where am I here? 20.
Are you just aimlessly shooting out the window?
Is it heavy or very heavy?
Heavy.
Okay, you got rate of fire 2. You can pop off 2 rounds if you want. You missed with that first
so-
one.
So I'm gonna use my I'm gonna use a +2
Nice. Yeah, go for it.
chat. And actually I'm gonna use 2 points of luck as well.
Nice. Yeah, go for it.
So it's 4 points. Oh, I didn't even need it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the damage.
Good job.
Let's go damage.
Yeah, and which guy are you shooting?
The closest guy.
Well, they're both right there. There's 2 guys. There's the one guy that Wolf shot that was holding the rocket launcher, and the guy that's kind of standing next to him.
The rocket launcher.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can describe how you finished this guy with that second shot. First shot missed.
Oh.
Second shot hit. Let's see that it was enough damage. It finished him. Yeah, if you want to describe it.
Yeah, if I could have it where it hits him right as he was about to take another shot, just right between the eyes, and he falls down and shoots another rocket up into the air, and it explodes all up in the air.
Well, no, it's not gonna. Yeah, you can't waste the round or anything like that. He was about to shoot, but it wasn't his It wasn't his turn yet.
Sorry.
Yeah, but you can absolutely hit him in the right between the eyes to the point where he just falls back, rocket up in that rocket launcher up in the air, crumbling down to the ground. I mean, you see the guy standing next to him, like kind of like freaking out and scrambling down next to him, just a bunch of movement and stuff. But yeah, finishing him with that second shot, that was great. Cynthia, what are you doing? You see Looper lean out the vehicle and take out one of these guys.
The other guy's still with him, right? I'm guessing he's just standing there panicking at this point. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot at him. I'm hopefully not gonna hit him. Maybe I'll just get him to run away, but given my past credentials, I might be able to hit him.
Okay, yeah, you using a pistol, or what are you using?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my pistol.
Okay,
I have the handgun with me. I don't think I have the assault rifle with me anymore.
okay. DV-20.
Oh, so close, but no dice.
Nope. Yeah, is that a very heavy or heavy pistol?
Let me double check. It's a heavy pistol.
Okay, cool.
I got
Then you should have a rate of fire of 2, so you can give me another handgun if you want.
All right, in this
Pop
case,
off a couple rounds.
I'm gonna try to take one of the +2s.
Nice.
I believe. +2. Also close, but no dice. 19.
Yeah, very close, but not enough. Yeah, whizzes right past this person as they're kind of scrambling down, messing with the body of the person that Looper just dropped. But Wolf, over to you.
All right, Wolf's gonna try and hit this guy then.
Yeah, go for it. You're looking at you're just under 25 meters away now. If you're using an assault rifle, it'd be a 15.
All right.
That's a hit. Give me damage.
Jeez, man.
Got 18.
Yeah, cool.
Ruthless.
I'm sorry, 21.
Ruthless.
What
Yeah.
was it?
It's 21. I have +3 in my
Oh, okay.
spot weakness.
Remind me to piss you off or be the other end of the gun.
I would never hurt either of y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
These
Don't
people are
ever
trying to
forget
shoot
me.
us with
Didn't
rocket
know.
launchers.
I feel like even if you accidentally shot, you just blow my head to
Yeah, you
smithereens.
take that shot as the person's kind of leaning down, messing with the body, and it goes right off the back of this person. And again, you just see a bunch of blood spray. Like, you can tell your shots are landing hard on these people. You're doing a significant amount of damage to these people. But it's at that point, just as it's kind of going over to Kira's turn, and Kira, you're seeing all this go down, that you see that body kind of lift up and has the rocket and just sets it off towards your vehicle. So why don't you give me your drive land vehicle? Or I believe we use evasion. I think you just use your normal skills within the vehicle. But correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. Yeah. So you just use your skills. So give me your evasion.
Evasion. My other one's so much better.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Those drives are normal swerves and vehicle trick maneuvers and things you have to do. But I believe that when you're driving, you're at top of initiative with vehicle, which we're going around in the round. Yeah, I'm just trying to look it up real quick. But it also relies on your normal skills like evasion and things when you enter combat in your vehicle. I'm not finding it quick. I'm gonna go with that. We'll amend it if I'm wrong. I'll look it up later, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Nice.
Roll a.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me do. Nice. Yeah, you dodge it. You got a 16.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, you dodge it. This guy, you see the guy kind of lift up, set it off as this rocket comes towards your van, and you swerve just out of the way, kind of dodging it as the rocket whizzes right past the van, just exploding behind you in one of the buildings off on the side of the road.
So the book says doing maneuvers in your vehicles on page 193. Maneuvers require full attention.
But not maneuver. Make sure it's combat in your vehicle. I know maneuvers are like swerve and U-turns and jumping, all that sort of stuff, which is land vehicle. But I think when you're trying to dodge an attack, I think it uses your evasion. I think
That's fine.
Um,
I was successful, so that works.
yeah, either way, but it's good to know if you do see it or you do find that, please let me know.
Yeah, I'll look.
And Val, maybe later, you can remind me later to look that up if I forget when we're chilling later. Because I want to know. All right, cool. But yeah, whizzes past you, explodes. That big explosion on the building behind you actually lights up the street enough at this moment during the hazy sort of evening time to where you can see up ahead where that guy shot the rocket. In the building, there's another body hanging out of a window up above him. But it's your turn, Kira.
Yeah, I would just be. I think on her turn, she's just going to be concentrate on driving the vehicle. So, again, continuing to move. If looking for, keeping an eye out for side streets, any kind of exits. But in the meantime, she's just putting the pedal down as far as it can go and trying to continue down the road.
Nice. Give me a perception while you're checking for all that. Nice. Yeah, you can see before you get up to the next block where that guy is messing with the rocket launcher. It kind of like appears like he's trying to reload it, which takes quite a bit of time with a rocket launcher. But you see him messing with it. You also see someone kind of hanging out of the building, out of the window. Looks like he's kind of positioning himself, has some type of like rifle or something maybe. But you notice that aside from a couple alleyways that are wide enough to pull into, not knowing if they cut through the block or not, you know that there's alleys you can pull into. There's also a street right before you get to the block. It's blocked off on the left side, which is kind of the side of the highway, where there's like an on-ramp and it might go under the highway, but that's all like rubble and blocked off. You can't go that way. But you can either keep going forward towards the guy, looks like he's reloading, the guy hanging out the window, or to the right. There's a street that cuts to the right. It looks like it's open, going that way.
I think I would go to the right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, give me your driving skill. This is just going to be a 13, sharp turn. Again, yeah.
24.
Yeah, I'm saying you're doing tricks on the way in, like you're talking to them, you're like looking back, hey guys, watch this, like not even looking, drifting around like effortlessly, like just looking like a stunt driver. That is such a good land skill. 24, you needed to be to 13. That's amazing. So yeah, you whip around that corner, and as you go around the corner, you kind of see that the block, it keeps going off forward. It looks like it might open up into more wasteland. There might be some more rubble up ahead. It's hard to see. But it does also kind of four-way up ahead. So you're kind of getting to the block where you can go left, which is the direction towards LA, kind of the direction the service road was going, or to the right, kind of back in the direction you were coming from.
Yeah, I mean, after taking the right, I would be looking, and I'd probably then take another left to head again, still heading into town.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you
just get on a different street.
Yeah, as you're Kira's tearing down the road and doing all this, Phoenix, what are you doing? And keeping in mind, because I know we kind of just went through all those actions. You can do anything that you want during all that sort of scene. Like, for instance, if you wanted to take a shot at one of the guys, missile guy, or hanging out the window, I'll allow that for fun during the kind of elaborate swerve turning. Or if you want to use your action for something else upcoming, or hold your action for anything, you're just kind of in this transitional moment.
The windows of
Kira?
I'm sorry, what was that?
She was wondering about windows and stuff in the.
As far as there are three. The front of the vehicle has 3 windows on each side, which can be pulled down. They are bulletproof glass, so there is advantages to keep them up. But yeah, there are 3 windows on each side of the bus that can be, of course, opened if need be.
All right, because Phoenix doesn't shoot anything, she could throw stuff. So I was gonna say, it's like, well, the guys that we see from a distance, how far are they?
Oh, well, they're pretty far. They're, a block up ahead. She's turning the block to to avoid them. If you're, throwing something, I don't think that would work that well.
Yeah. So the whole time Phoenix is just gonna be talking shit. Okay. You guys get him.
That works.
Yeah. Woohoo! Because I don't shoot. Yay! Just because I'm buzzed and picking on Emma who's sleeping. Emma! You gotta wake up.
Yeah, Emma's waking up now, like, oh my god, what's going on? and
you missed the rodeo. What are you talking about?
We almost got with the Rocket Girl.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna go ahead and stay back here. And she goes back and kind of laying down next to the bed, just kind of crouching back there next to Anchor. Anchor's sitting back there. Anchor looks a little more excited by it, though. Emma looks a little more worried. She's been in combat with you all before. She knows things can get kind of hectic. Anchor looks kind of excited, young, dumb, ready to get into action. I know he's just having fun watching.
He's dancing with Phoenix.
Yeah. But as you tear around the corner, you come around to the other side of the block, and it's very much like the other kind of service road, where it's, again, all run-down buildings and things like that. But we're over to Looper. Kira tears around the side of this block, and you see the street continues on. You're really only probably about, maybe 10, 15 blocks or so away from that neon wall now.
Hey, Lupins. I hope you don't mind me calling you Lupins. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're on our way to L.A., and looks like the City of Angels is full of a city of demons. Wish us luck as we try to stay alive. Keep subscribed. Holy shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Nice. And Cynthia, what are you doing as Looper's doing his promos during all this crazy driving down these service roads?
She's trying really hard to keep it together, but like you can very clearly see her just like losing her mind, laughing at him. When did you become an influencer, Looper? When did that happen?
Hey man, just trying to keep our audience, alright? Just trying to keep them engaged.
Tell me you didn't think to give me a heads up.
You weren't on camera?
I don't care about the heads up. I'm talking about profit, honey.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. Looper, Lupins, I don't know.
Lupins is a stupid name, but you know what? We'll go with it. If they like it, they like it. What are they, Lupins the Thirds?
Buckle up.
Wolf, what are you doing? You hear all this teasing going on as Kira's tearing around this block. Phoenix just is yelling for everyone to get him and just seems to be enjoying the moment. What's Wolf doing as you're tearing around this block? Uh-oh. We're appeasing the mute gods.
I knew it would happen eventually.
It had to be done. It had to be done.
So can I still shoot this guy who had the rocket launcher? I don't want him to step behind us and put one into the back of the
No,
bus.
he's up kind of on the front end of that block that Kira turned away from before even entering. So with how fast Kira's going around the block, you're already on this side. That guy would have to run all the way around or all the way across the block. Yeah, it would take him a minute,
Okay. In that case, I'm just going to keep an eye out. I want to see if anyone else is down in here. And I don't know if I need to make a perception, but I'm keeping a close eye. I'm kind of super paranoid at the moment.
Wolf, have you met your GM? Do you think you're going to need to do a perception check? Come on. Let's go. Give me a perception check.
It's only going to be a 15.
Yeah, it looks like this side of the block is pretty clear compared to the other one. I mean, still rubble, dark, just as fucked up and desolate, But you're not seeing, some guys with a rocket launcher or somebody hanging out of a window. You're not seeing stuff like that on this side.
All right. Then I'll just keep an eye out, and then I'll yell back over, Kira, awesome driving. Barely moved my sights.
Nice. And Kira, yeah, it's your turn.
Like it paid the big bucks.
Yeah, you're driving. It's your turn. Give me a perception check, Kira.
I can do that.
Sorry, did you say big bucks?
Bucks, yeah, the big bucks.
Nice. Yeah, you can see up ahead. There's some type of like wall broken out on the road. Like a block up ahead. Not the block that you're on, that you just kind of went around, but the block ahead of that, you can see like there's some of the wall kind of fell out from the building, and it looks like it's a bit of a jump. Like there's some rubble across the road, but the way this wall is, you have options. You could make a right at this block and go further away from the highway, further out into the wasteland, in which case you would have to make another left to head towards LA. You could make a left going back on the service road. Now that you kind of went all the way around that block where the guys were posted up, you'd be back on the service road, but now on the back end of that block, heading towards LA. Or you could bust a bootleg, which is, well, the same DV as making the jump to go back where you came from. Or you could stop and get out and have a picnic on the side of the road and just call it a day. I don't know.
The picnic sounds wonderful.
And that's how you win
But I don't think I'm
Cyberpunk.
going to take.
No,
I don't think I'm going to do that.
I'd hope not.
Okay. So
But that's what you're
Punch
seeing.
it!
Jump it! Jump it!
Punch it!
Some sugar and some tea sandwiches.
Kara will just push the pedal down a little bit more and hold on and say, "Hold on tight," as she tries to jump over.
Nice.
As she goes to jump.
I was
Oh
hoping
my
you
God.
would. Now, don't forget you have luck. You have +2s. Not to
Use
admit it
those
too much, but if
+2s.
you want to, you've got them. But this is kind of a bigger one than the others. You've been doing great at the driving skill so far, but this one's a little bigger. Like I said, to do a jump, it's a DV17.
Use the +2s.
I'm going to use 2 points of luck, and I'm going to use a +2. So just to make sure, and that is. Where is my thing again? Drive.
There's so many +2s.
There are a lot.
So +4 to that, so a 27.
Nice.
You're flying.
Even if I were to drop a -2 to make it fucked up, it wouldn't work. So that was a great. Again, it's like a stunt driver. You're hitting this ramp. If you want to give it some flair and describe it as more than a jump, I'll allow it. You can even do a spin in the air with the vehicle. I mean, you could drift into it. That is such a great roll.
No, yeah, she floors it. It hits the ramp. The bus for a moment, it seems like it's flying, and then you can just hear the back end of the bus slam against the ground as the front wheels are still slightly airborne for quite a bit more distance before they finally hit the ground as the bus continues to move forward.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna bring up the bus one more time in the overlay just to remind people of exactly what this
What's
looks
flying?
like as it's flying through the air. You're seeing this, hippie painted style school bus just flying over this ramp in this dark dystopian wasteland of a part of the city of outskirts of LA. But yeah, as you're flying through the air,
And she'd also mention, and no one mentions this back to the clan, that I did this with this car, this bus.
Here.
I don't know them.
I
Bus
don't.
horn for that one.
I don't know why. I don't know why the alignment is completely fucked up. I'm not sure why it keeps pulling to one side hard. I don't know. That's horrible. But no, as you're going through, you're kind of flying through the air, and from up above, all of a sudden you hear like a few shots go off, like pop, 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 like maybe there was some people hiding out in windows above here in hopes that like somebody might stop instead of taking the ramp option. Maybe hiding out to the point that those perceptions didn't notice them. Obviously, some type of
They were
ambush.
really hoping for that picnic option.
Yeah, they were really hoping for that picnic option. But as you go through, again, you hear those shots kind of go off, pop, 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 and it feels like two of them actually hit the bus. So let me just do up a little bit of damage. I don't know if you have, is it armor? Do you have SP, or we're just looking at SDP? I don't know if you gave me the sheet. We do have a fillable character sheet on CybernationUncensored.com. I can get that.
Yeah, I'll have to put it together for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't have armor on the outs. It does not have armor. It does have bulletproof glass windows, though.
Okay.
I will say that Capricious Nature has made an amazing vehicle of red supplement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need to get up with Robin and just iron that out.
Yeah, exactly. The only issue with it is
a fit for a bus.
Yeah,
So,
no, but that's fine. We can alter
there's-
things, but I also need to tone some of it down because some of it's a bit powerful, and it goes a little bit above and beyond. I like a lot of it, but I'm gonna obviously put some limits to some things. Maybe some role play aspects to when they can come into play versus altering what they are. But either way,
I mean, most of the stuff is right out of the book, out of the core rule book, except
Cool.
for I made some assumptions. It's a school bus, so it was like it would already have a heavy chassis, so I didn't do that option.
Well, first hit does 15 points of damage. Second does 13.
Thank you.
15 and 15. 1 second.
We'll give it a moment, but yeah, while Kira works out some of the math and checks on that, keeping in mind as the bus is flying through the air, and Looper screams out, and it's a pretty exciting moment. You hear those few shots go off as one whizzes past the bus, and a couple more hit the top of the bus. You hear him hitting the top. It sounds pretty hard, like a significant amount of damage, as the bus kind of hits and wheels tear out as you're continuing down the street. But yeah.
So I based it off from the vehicles of Red. I based it off of the heavy duty pickup truck. So it has 70 SDP.
Okay.
According to that. And then you said it took what?
The first was I didn't write it down. I think it was 15 and
13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay. So minus 28. Okay.
Yeah, 13 was the second one. The dice are still sitting that way. So I got that. I know that one right. First one I think was 15. Pretty sure.
It still has 42 then.
Okay, nice. Well, yeah, 2 shots through. Did some good amount of damage, but luckily this bus is tough. As the wheels kind of tear out and you continue on, and you hear like some yelling off in the distance from whoever was up in these buildings and things. And now over to Phoenix. Imagine Phoenix still cheering along.
She pretty much is a little cheerleader.
What a time.
High-fiving the driver.
Phoenix doesn't play with guns, so she gets to watch everyone else set some shots off. And then over to, where are we at? Looper.
He looks at the two, like Emma and Anchor, and just like, just another day.
Nice. And Cynthia?
Hey, here. Do we have another assault rifle in here somewhere?
She'll throw you back her assault rifle.
No, we have an extra that we picked up that we've actually put in here.
Oh yes, there you go. You can use that one.
Give me.
Nice. Yeah, you got that. You can use it if you want.
I can, and I will.
Over to Wolf.
Wolf is looking around for anyone that looks like they're threatening us. So.
Yeah, without even doing a perception, you can see there. It looks like there's 3 guys hanging out of windows up above where that kind of wall was collapsed that Kira did the jump. It looks like they all have rifles of some type, and they're all still hanging out the window, kind of like in your direction. And you're a solo. You are not out of range, yet.
So. In that case, I think I'll take a shot at one of them then.
Okay, cool. And remind me, Kira, the move stat of the bus. And yeah, and in the meantime, give me your shoulder, Wolf.
It is a 15 move based off of the heavy-duty pickup truck.
That's cool. That makes sense. So yeah, it'll definitely be a couple rounds before you're past this block. And where the distance is probably pretty difficult for the rifle. So you're kind of within that sweet spot range of these 3 guys as you're getting away. Luckily, Wolf took notice to that.
All right.
Bus is pretty tough, though. That's a lot of SDP, so I'd feel pretty safe in there if it was me.
Apparently, Phoenix, though, she's like...
Yeah, apparently Phoenix is doesn't even give a shit. She's like, hey.
Let's just say armor might be a future upgrade. I ran out of things I could do to it at the moment.
Yeah.
I gotta get some more money.
Sorry, I didn't see you rolled it. Nice. Yeah, that's a hit.
All right.
Yeah, give me the damage. Sorry, I didn't see that you rolled it. I would have jumped on that faster.
So 19 damage.
Oh, so close to critical.
So close.
Yeah, I keep seeing all these greens on the rolls. I'm like, oh, is that a critical? Is that a critical? And they never are. Damn it. I want one
2,
today.
3, 3, 5.
Not some good damage, so not complaining.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage. Yeah. You can see, just for cinematic purposes, I'll say the guy that you hit, you see he drops his rifle and kind of grabs himself back into the building. It was so close to, like, finishing him off. He probably wasn't wearing much for armor and stuff, but you'd notice that. But there's still a couple other guys kind of hanging out these windows. And now we're over... Wait, where are we at? Oh, Kira.
So, the ones that Wolf was shooting at, which side are they on? My side, the driver's side, or passenger side?
Two on the driver's side, one on the other side, but one on each side
Okay.
now. Yeah, Wolf just made one of the guys kind of run inside, retreat.
Okay, so Kira will lean out the window with her gun, pulling up the gun, and take fire at one of them.
Nice. Now, do you get a negative here, or you have?
The interface plug, so I can let go of the wheel.
Nice. Yeah, give me your. Is it your rifle?
Yep.
Yeah, give me your shoulder arms.
Go.
Nice. Yeah, give me your damage.
Wow.
So close. 17 damage.
Nice. I know more greens on these rolls, no critical successes. No, but that's a good amount of damage. Another big shot. You see this guy kind of go back into the building, and then you see the third guy go back into the building. I think this was intimidating to them. You know, they took a bunch of shots at this bus. It didn't look like it did a lot of damage after you did this epic jump. That was probably pretty shocking to them. And then a couple rounds from the bus as it's driving away actually do a lot of damage to them. Like, you guys just are coming across like some pro edge runners to these scavvers, you know, or whatever they are.
That's what we are, right? That's what we are.
Exactly. It's like, look at that. You're actually looking like real life edge runners. It's crazy.
Kira just slides back into the seat and continues driving.
Yeah, and you easily continue on. As you see, the neons get bright enough that it's just lighting up the area now. And it's pretty clear out here. As you're getting up to the border, you notice there's like a lot less of that sort of like scaver, homeless, booster gang life and survivalist sort of area, where it's just kind of this ring of just cleared out buildings and areas around this neon wall. As you enter LA from this side, one thing that you notice is like it almost feels like you're entering like a very humid environment. That smog, that pollution is pretty thick, even here in the evening, nighttime sort of time of day. Visibly, visuals, it's very hard. Everyone's going to have to be hitting a -2 on perception visual checks out here, just from the smog and haze. And then the way that all these neons are reflecting off of them makes it very difficult. Like, you can see building structure and stuff, but just the constant glow. And as you enter that neon wall, lots of traffic going around. You see, AVs flying, traffic on ground, people coming and going everywhere. Just as busy as Night City, if not even larger and more spread out. Just from this sort of visual point, you can see there's some type of like downtown, what you would consider like, imagine Night City, the Corp area, right? Like all these big skyrise buildings and things. You see neons. You even see some signage, like I said, that you recognize, different brands and things. But then like a little more north of that, you see more buildings, almost like two separate downtowns and things going on. And then in the mix of it, just spread out civilization. You see like mega complexes for living. You see shopping areas. You can see what looks like some type of theme park way off on one side. And then you see where it kind of spans out with this neon glow of just non-stop, just overpacked suburb looks, very much like Night City, just like tent living, makeshift mega complexes that aren't as skyrise as the ones in the heart of the city, but more spread out. And it just stretches all the way out for miles and miles. The radius of the city is probably about, overall spread of it is probably, I'd say about 3 to 5 times as large as Night City. It's very spread out, very wide. Like I said, two separate downtowns. But as you enter, Cynthia's familiar with Night City being from here. You know that up towards kind of the hillside, that's kind of the executive zone. Very similar. Again, I'm going to make some references that you'll be able to associate with Night City, so you understand kind of how it works. But up hillside, very executive, very wealthy. Going down into there, where that sort of first downtown-looking skyrise area is very corporate entertainment industry. It's what used to be old Hollywood. And that reaching up into Studio City, going all the way Malibu side, that side of the mountain, Pacific Palisades. It's all exec zone, high cost living, down into it. Maybe some touristy sort of spots, but very entertainment industry based. Once you get up into Studio City, all the working studios and entertainment things like Network 54, everyone's over there, all the media corps. Beyond that is the valley, which is known as like super hot. The pollution sits in there. You get an extra -1. It's like -3 on perception when you enter the valley. Over there is very overpacked, low level living. Very combat zone-esque in the valley, but more like Japantown style combat zone. Not that it has like the Asian background aesthetics and things, but that level of combat zone where it's like a little more tolerable but still considered combat zone. When you pass through more to the downtown, it's more corporate, downtown industrial, very much like the corporate zone in the center of Night City, right? But that's more of the downtown, more of like functional city job sort of stuff, less entertainment industry. To the side of that, like going a little kind of northeast a little bit, is sitting their Chinatown, which again is very combat zone like, spanning down from the valley going in to Chinatown, which is expanded, touching the valley combat zone. And then beyond that is East LA, which just spreads all the way out into what used to be San Bernardino, which is kind of considered old combat zone style, right? Which spans huge. It's like, like I said, 3 to 5 times the size of the old combat zone in Night City. Beyond that is just desolate, nothing. In fact, going beyond that is, in the back in the day, the rise of average temperatures mid-21st century made the eastern part of the state considered all but uninhabitable, with many having migrated into the cities, leaving Death Valley, the Devil's Playground, and other such areas as empty wasteland patrolled only by the occasional nomad group. But that's what you're looking at in the city. As you enter it, Cynthia kind of explains all that. I know that was long-winded, but welcome to LA. I had to kind of break it down at one point, right? But Cynthia explains, hey, not the entertainment downtown, but regular downtown. And we can figure out what they'll actually be called as we get into it, maybe once you meet the uncle. But she says, that's where my uncle's corporate building is. And I
Wow,
imagine y'all are heading there.
This is just incredible. Wow, I've never seen anything like this, I don't think.
Holy shit.
But last time I was here, so yeah, this is LA.
You've seen one city, you've seen them all, honestly.
Kinda.
I'm looking at all the neon, taking in the sights. Look very touristy.
The smells.
Are we gonna...
Toxin binders.
We're not gonna
Yeah,
die here, are we?
I am curious, does anybody have toxin binders?
I do.
Nice.
Don't wander too far, but no, you shouldn't be dying here, I don't think.
Yeah, what
Look at what it took to get us into this place.
Yeah. You're
Are
trying
you gonna be able to get out?
Somebody doesn't want us here.
You haven't left Night City very often, do you?
What was that, Kira?
You don't leave the city much, do you?
Not if I can help it.
That
People are mean,
was-
and I don't. It's a different location.
honestly, that was a casual drive when you're in the areas between cities. Honestly.
Yeah, and as you get through LA, it's what you would expect. It's pretty much like Night City, but just larger. And by larger, I mean more spread out. Night City has just as much skyscrapers and population as LA. LA is just, a bit more spread out, but just as compact. So you can imagine the population rate is bigger here, the crime rate, the like I said, the pollution, the post-flooding from the earthquake has made the city a bit unstable in certain parts of what is now considered combat zone because of the valley flooding and such. So a lot of this city has old history of damage and such. So, just think Night City on acid or Night City on steroids a bit, like a bit larger, a bit more spread out, just as deadly, just as dystopian, and just as fucked up. Even smells a little worse, like I said, a bit more pollution and shit. So kind of grimy in that sense. But you enter downtown, and it's what you would expect. There's just a black filth smog sort of coating on all the buildings, on the streets, on everything down here. People walking around are pretty much walking with purpose. You can tell that in the downtown area, there's not a lot more, a lot of touristy fun things, not even a lot of restaurants and things out here, with the exception of what might be inside of these executive buildings. Like, since you were here, Cynthia, since you were a kid, there's just not a lot of outside living downtown. The pollution levels, the homeless, the Skid Row and East Side combat zones pouring and fighting its way into downtown. It's just a constant tension. It's fucked up down here, and you only come here for business. But you're approaching the big skyscraper that is LA Energy. You know that your uncle runs a branch of LA Energy. He basically runs the energy recycling program and some perpetual energy silos, which is a new program that the city's trying to do. He's been doing that over the past basically the couple years, and that's all. Before that he was working business with your family before the falling out, before your family apparently died or mysteriously disappeared, and he raised you and things. But yeah, you're approaching the building in order to streamline. It's as I described. You're able to park in the building. Your name is at the parking garage listed. Your uncle already had that reserved, so you're able to pull the bus right into the parking garage. Don't have to deal with the smoggy, polluted streets or crazy Skid Row, East LA pouring into it. You're able to get right into the secure building. But you get in, and it's a complete change in atmosphere. In fact, let me pull up in Sirenscape off of these desert wind sounds and get us back into civilization a little bit better. Get us out on the streets. What was that, Wolf?
Once we get into the parking garage and park the bus, Kira will definitely be doing a look over the bus, especially the suspension from the jump and stuff.
Okay.
And also looking at the damage from the couple shots that did actually hit the bus.
Oh yeah, and you do notice, there's a couple rounds that hit the top of the bus, not enough to make it all the way through, but it did the damage like I explained. And you have plenty of SDP still left, but it did do some damage. You'll have to get that fixed eventually. But no structural damage from the jump. You did an amazing job on that. Very tactful, like I said, like a stunt driver. The vehicle was perfect. But yeah, you get into here and complete change of atmosphere. No pollution in here, even in the parking garage. And as you get in, you see sort of these cleaning bots that almost look like huge Roombas, just these cylinders going up and down the parking garage. Some of them up the walls, like it's just constantly filtering the air, cleaning the smog and muck off of that sticks to the walls. I mean, it's clean in here. It's actually decent.
Pollution's always been kind of a clean Frank. Been kind of about that. Anyways, welcome to LA. Welcome to my family's humble abode.
Oh, they got the right thing going here. It's spiffy clean.
I think that's kind of fancy.
You think those bots could do a once-over on the outside of the bus while we're here?
Building could fit to do that. Possibly. I don't care.
Emma leans up and says, I could reprogram one to do that probably. I could hack the system. Were we serious or was that a joke? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am completely serious.
I'm with it. Let me get permission first, though. I don't want us to hijack one of his machines and him freak out about it.
Okay.
It's weird for me.
It's been a couple weeks. It could really use a good outside clean. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, hey, if Cynthia gives me the green light, I'm on it. Just let me know. You guys make your way from the garage, and you see this sort of like entry area that's almost like this vacuum sealed, even from within the garage. That's clean, where it's like this. But you're familiar with these wash-off stations and runoff areas for when there's blood rains and things. But when you enter this section, it's off. There's no blood rain today. There's been enough cleaning and vacuum seal, like in this garage area, that you can get right through to here into like the main lobby of the building. And it's busy. People are coming and going. There's a reception desk, but Cynthia's familiar. She's been here before. She's close with her uncle, raised by him. And you can easily get up into the elevator, put in his code that he sent you, get right up to his level. And now you're up into the recycling division of LA Energy. You're in the Energy Recycling Program division. And you enter his level. You get up there and the elevator just opens up into a big lobby. There's rows of offices that basically go down to the head offices of him and his partner. You can see the secretary desks out here, their assistants, and it's busy. There's some people coming and going, but as you enter, you see your uncle at the other end of the office, and he's talking to his assistant. He sees you and gestures for you to come over.
He waves and walks over, and gestures for the rest of the group, like, come on. Walk with purpose. Don't dilly-dally. You get swept up in the You get swept up. Just follow me.
Okay, so how was the trip? I'm glad you made it.
It was interesting, but overall really good.
Yeah, well, traveling from Night City to LA or either way can be dangerous. But I'm glad you have a new escort, a new friend in with you now. Nice to meet you.
She kind of just nods.
She like individually goes like, she introduces everybody one by one.
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle Bruce.
Oh, Sarah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, no, thank you, for working with my niece, family of hers, family of me. Anything any of you need while you're in LA, I appreciate you being here to help me. I don't know how much Cynthia told you about what I have going on, but yeah, we're a program, a division of LA Energy. We run the energy recycling program here in the perpetual energy silos, and we've been working out the past couple years. We have a 10-year contract with the city to run the division under LA Energy, and been doing it since. But yeah, not everything is smooth and as good as it should be. That's what we do, but that's not kind of what's been going on. I mean, I'm sure you're wondering why you're here. He looks to you, Cynthia.
Well, Sarah, if you have a story to tell, we want to tell it.
Yes, of course, I'm more or less worried about you, but of course I'm kind of interested in what's going on. You don't really ever call me back to home unless something big happens.
Well, yeah, because you know how I am, Cynthia. I don't bother you or family. I don't even bother your Aunt Vonica with anything that goes on when we get into trouble. I try to just keep my business straight. I get work done and take care of family. But yeah, unfortunately things are getting a little stressful. And I mean, we got the grant funding from the city. We have the 10-year plan to run the recycling program with LA Energy, LAE, and like I said, it maps out 10 years, and it's a big deal. It's a lot of money, and as you know, Cynthia, just on the side, it's millions of dollars. It's a 10-year energy recycling plan for the city of LA. It involves over $10 million on this plan, and it's an investment from the city and the council here. So it is a big deal. He is working some noble stuff for the city here. But he explains, it's a 10-year plan, and that's what the grant's for, and that's why we're here. That's what I'm working on, but that's not exactly what's happening. Someone's taking it from us, and someone's taking the money, and it's.
Are you embezzling it or stealing it? What?
It's not that simple, and in fact, honey, can we speak privately?
Here,
He looks towards you, Cynthia.
Of course.
And he gestures for you to enter his office, and he looks to the rest of you. I'm sorry, feel free to hang in my lounge. And he looks over towards one of the females that was sitting at the desk. And, Jillian, if anybody wants anything to drink, just take care of them. She gets up and starts asking if any of you want any water, any tea, anything, as Cynthia enters his office. And as Cynthia enters the office with the uncle, does Looper, Kira, Phoenix, or Wolf, do you want any water or tea? Jillian asks you.
Yeah, I'll take a tea. And looks back to him eyes. It looks back into the rest of the crew and be like, eyes open.
I got my hearing up. Try to hear. But I'll take a tea.
Yeah. Kira would also. I'll take one too.
Okay, very well. And she goes and starts messing. You see kind of like a break area where they have things. And it's a very humble office in that sense. You know that they do a lot of work on the off-site silos, the recycling silos, and their engineering plant where they do all the recycling. This is kind of where they do their paperwork, their planning and engineering stuff. But yeah, she goes over getting you some tea, some water, anything that anybody wants. As Cynthia heads into the office, Everybody give me a perception check if you're like, don't give me a perception check if you're getting your tea, if you're just eyes on the situation. But if, like Phoenix said, I'm trying to listen, I'm trying to overhear into the office. If you're trying to overhear, if you have audio suite, don't forget your +2, but give me perception on that if you're trying to overhear Cynthia's conversation. It's going to be pretty difficult, just so you know.
Yeah, no, he Looper definitely would be keeping an eye in.
Iron?
Iron.
Well, I got a 14, but I was buzzed.
Yeah, being an unfamiliar area, Kira would definitely be listening and taking it all in.
No, he definitely was taking an ear in as he was like keep eyes open and like was trying to listen in and be like T, but keep and listening in.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely watching them.
Did you add in your perceptions? Did you put the if you have audio suite with enhanced hearing for the +2 on hearing perception? Is that added in to your perception as a total, or do you have to add that as a modifier?
I did not add my +2 for hearing, so it'd be a 24 if it was hearing.
Okay. And Wolf, do you have cyber audio? Do you have enhanced hearing?
No.
Okay, then yeah, Wolf, Phoenix, Kira. Let me see, what was Phoenix? Oh yeah, 14. Yeah, Wolf, Phoenix, and Kira, please take off your headphones and just look at me. I'll gesture when you can put them back on. As Cynthia goes into the office, and Looper, you can overhear it. You actually hear Cynthia talking to her uncle in his office. It's a little bit muffled. There's moments when we'll say Phoenix and Wolf and Kira maybe try to talk to you about the tea or something, not realizing that you actually can hear them, you know. But you're catching on. You can hear it. And Cynthia, as you enter your uncle's office, it's as you remembered, a bunch of synthetic plants and artwork and things like that. He makes it very home-like in the office, at least in this part, since the rest of the working office is pretty much for paperwork and planning and things. It's a bit more cold. But he has you come in and he says, look, Cynthia, I apologize for being discreet, but like I said, I don't mess on the more seedier things of life. I try to stay on the straight and narrow. Even when you called me, when you had trouble up in Night City, the most I could do was send you some funds to help, but I didn't want to get too involved,
Gary, I didn't need you to actually do anything.
What was that?
But on the record, I just wanted you to sound scary. I didn't actually need you to do anything. But on a more serious note, what does it matter? Because I've never seen you this nervous about anything.
Well, I mean, someone's bribing me, okay? I'll just be blunt with it. We have the big funding. We have the 10-year plan with the city. We have the grant. It's our projected funding for the next 10 years to pull off this energy recycling plan, and it's a lot of money. And there was over 100 people applying for this grant for this energy thing. We got passed. We were accepted. We got the grant. I know there's a lot of people that were gunning for this. I know there's people that know that we have the funds that weren't even gunning for it. There was press. There was international press about what we're trying to do here with our recycling silos. And I don't know. I guess it made us a target because then someone basically hit me up and they've been bribing me. They're ruining the corporation. And like I said, I avoid anything that has to do with crime. Or crossing the line. I do things by the books. But
what are they asking you for money or demanding money from you?
I'll just tell you. I mean, honey, but before I started working with your father, and when I was first coming up in the exec world and in the corp world, and I was a bit more cutthroat. I tried to do some things. I hired a hit. Okay, I had someone taken out so I could get in with our general commerce store. This is before I partnered with your father, and I tried to work my way up a little more corrupt. I did what I had to do. I saw others doing it. I know that's how it is. It's very cutthroat. People do things like that in the city. I regret it to this day, and ever since I never felt right about what I did to get started, and I that's why I've been walking the line since. I don't mess with crime. You know me. I regret it. But now it's coming back to bite me in the ass. Apparently someone knows about it. I have no idea. They're messaging. I got the anonymous email. They obviously know about it. I didn't show anybody. I couldn't hire any investigators. We have private ones here all the way up to Danger Girl. I didn't even call them. I'm not trying to have anyone know about this because, honey, I did that back in the day. It's not something I'm proud of, but they have that on me. And they're siphoning money because of it. I need someone to find out who's doing this, put a stop to it, get the money back before the city realizes that they're taking money. They're doing it in small increments so it's not as noticeable, so we can continue on. And the grant comes in increments year by year. I think they're trying to tap into this as we go. And in the end, we're going to look bad. We're not going to be able to finish the job. The money's going to be gone. I'm going to be responsible. I'm either going to have to come clean and be exposed for what I did in the past, be labeled as a criminal. I don't know what's going to happen with that, or I need to figure out who this is, put a stop to it, and I don't know what to do. I don't know who else to call. I'm sorry to pull you into this, but I have nobody else.
Cynthia takes a lean back into her seat and just kind of like thinks for a moment. Okay. Let's make something abundantly clear. You did this. This falls solely on your shoulders. This is the karma for your actions. I'm going to help the best I can. What I need from you is to be 100% honest with me in every single detail. Every piece of evidence, I need you to not hold anything back from me. And if I find out that there's a reason why I should blow you out the water, Uncle, I love you, but I will. You may be family, but does not supersede my morals.
I understand.
We're already on pretty good ground about blowing people out the water who do bad things. If you did something seriously bad, you need to tell me flat out. A hit is one thing, but I need to know everything.
I agree. I mean, I regret it to this day. It's horrible, and yes, any information you need, whatever you need, you have full access. You can have access to the email. You can, ask me anything you want. You can talk to anybody in the office. Aunt Vonica's home. My business partner Tyson, my netrunner Jillian, my exec assistant Gavin, my tech Gromit, any of the workers at the silo. You have full access. Please, honey, you have my word. Help me, and you have access to everything. I'll be honest and open, and yes, I did something wrong back in the day. I was young, I was dumb. I paid a fixer to put a hit on somebody. Just one of those shitty little ads you see all the time with mercenaries. It was so long ago, and yeah, I got the job. I don't even work there anymore. It wasn't worth it. I know. Trust me, I regret this. That's why I live on the straight and narrow ever since.
Your name?
What was that?
You put a hit on somebody, you don't remember their name?
No, I know who it was. Absolutely. It was, when I was trying to get a job at the General Consumer Distro. They worked with Continental Brands and Biotechnica, and, they distribute all kinds of stuff. I was into the general consumer marketing and things. That's how I got into it with your father, and we started that business together. But yeah, when I first got my start, when I was applying everywhere in the city, I couldn't get a job anywhere. It's so overpopulated. I did what a lot of people do, and I paid my way in. I tried to ignore it, someone else did it. I paid for it. I got in. But like I said, it never set right with me. I couldn't sleep at night over it, and that's when I promised myself, no more corruption, no more. I'll walk the line. I'll do business right. I worked with your father. That didn't work out, but I got into this recycling program to help the city and work right and do what I can.
Okay. I need you to send me give me all relative files, hard copies preferably, nothing that can be traced, nothing that can be hacked into. Paper if you have it, if not just hard copies of whatever information you possibly have. I'm going to go over it. I'm going to think about it. And I will come back to you and let you know my decision. I want to help you, but you're dropping a lot on me right now. That's a lot. That's a lot. I trusted you. I looked up to you and find out that you could possibly just be a fraud.
Cynthia, I think everybody has skeletons in their closet. I think we've all done some things we regret.
Drugs.
This was one mistake when I was
a
younger.
Body, an actual body. Mine's rehab. It's not the same. It's not the same. Just give me whatever evidence you have.
Give me a persuasion check too.
Oh. 19.
I understand, and I'll send you everything you need to look at. You know, you can look at the email. You have access to my partner, assistants, and any of the offices. Anything that you need, you can look into. I'll send you the info. I already set you up with a hotel. I already paid for it. I'll pay for more nights if you agree to stay and help me. I hope you understand that I did what I thought I had to do when I was young and dumb, but I'm an completely different person, and you should know that. I helped raise you. I'm not who I was when I was young. But think about it. If you want to discuss it with your friends, just please don't tell them too much. Just I can't have this get out. I trust you. We're family, but please just be as discreet as possible if you can. And then let me know as soon as you make your decision. If you can help me, you're my only hope to end this.
Fine. Just give me 24 hours. I just need 24 hours to look it over. And I will call you in the morning. Okay,
and even if you decide that you don't want to help me, you can't help us with this situation. For me, family, or the business, I understand. You need to at least come over for dinner tomorrow night. Aunt Vonica will kill me if we don't at least have some family time aside from this. I know it's inappropriate to bring this up under circumstances, but please call me.
As much as I do, Vonica will literally show up at the hotel and drag me by my hair back to the place to have dinner. So yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, well here's the hotel information. He slides it. It ends up in your agent. Call me as soon as you know better. Thank you so much. Everyone else, headphones. Can everybody hear me?
Everything, and just kind of like coldly walks out the office and closes the door behind her briskly.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Everyone can hear it. Yeah. So everyone, you notice.
We're just like, yep.
Yeah, Looper can hear. Cynthia just Cynthia just exits the office kind of cold as the uncle just nods at everybody else. Just like, nice to meet you all, and closes the door, going back to work. The assistants go back to work. And at that moment, you see all the assistants kind of gesture towards you, like to take your empty cups and things. Like you can tell the meeting's over when the uncle kind of closes the door. But Cynthia exits the office, looking a little bit cold, maybe a little bit deep in thought or worried, if you will.
To get to, she seems like from that cold demeanor to immediately compose herself and just kind of like puts on a cheery facade. All right, so we have a hotel we got to get to. So let's go ahead and get checked in, jar our bags, get comfy. We also have a dinner to get to tomorrow. So if you guys want to go check out the city, let me know. But first, let's get to the hotel. Let's go unpack. I'm tired of being in cars. No offense, Kira, but I just want to bed.
And yeah, we'll say as everybody leaves the building, gets down into Kira's a school bus and makes their way into to the hotel. The hotel is actually in Little Koreatown.
I can't hear anything. Can you?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
You can't hear
Yeah.
me?
Okay.
That's all you got.
Okay.
hear you
I
all
can't.
now.
I can hear you guys. I can't hear Madlass or Rob.
Weird.
All right. Do you have us muted?
Yeah,
Did
neither
you-
can I.
Did you mute them?
Oh, I can hear all of you guys specifically,
Can you hear me now?
and then neither of those two.
That's weird.
Same.
Tell him to try and reboot him real quick.
Yeah, that's weird. All from taking off the headphones and back. Did you accidentally click something, or because we didn't change anything? Let them know, Wolf or Val. Somebody that they can hear needs to let them know.
Yeah, let's
Restart your
like, check-
Rebooting something.
reboot.
Jamie, you didn't need a reboot. What?
I know Jamie said she couldn't hear us either.
Yeah.
I could hear
Yeah,
everyone,
reconnecting.
but now I can hear y'all.
Okay, we'll give it just a second. Let
I saw Rob's lips moving, and I was like, "Okay, what's going on here?"
yeah, it's weird. You guys took off the headphones and back, and somehow that made it.
Now
cut
we
us
don't
out.
see you.
Oh yeah, now we can't see.
No, I could hear everybody,
Oh, there we go.
but you and Cynthia.
That's so weird. Did you hear us before? Did you hear the whole conversation?
I heard the full conversation, and then
Okay.
I don't know what happened, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, it's just
Yeah,
like
it's-
I could hear I could hear you guys from the other room, but I
It's
Yes,
weird because I
Cynthia-
told everybody to put the headphones on.
No.
that was where basically I stopped hearing people. I was like, oh yeah, headphones, everybody, and then
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, everybody puts the headphones on as Cynthia leaves the office, and make sure that nobody hit anything, because I definitely didn't change anything. So if there's like a mute button on your headphones or something, maybe that muted us. But it sounds like it might have been a digital glitch because you restarted it and it worked. So I don't know. But Cynthia just basically left the office. Kind of cold, looked a little bit deep in thought, maybe a little worried. Looper, obviously, you heard the conversation about family and what's going on. And then, she kind of changed her demeanor, got a little more positive and said, hey, we got a hotel to stay in. We have dinner to go to tomorrow night. But let's get to the hotel and wind down, basically. So everybody gets down into Kira's bus. Making their way into Koreatown. Little Koreatown is kind of in between this downtown and Hollywood, the other entertainment downtown. And there's like a bunch of hotels, motels, a bunch of like tourist living quarters, as well as some mega living complexes that go into mid-city, which is in between. But when you get over there to the hotel, you get your rooms. And everybody kind of has their own little cubicle room. We'll say Uncle Lucia got the number of friends that Cynthia was bringing, so everybody gets their own like little cubicle hotel. But at this moment, whether in the quick drive over there or up in the hotel winding down, before we end the session, I would like at least a moment, if anybody wants to role play out, asking Cynthia what was said, if you think Looper as character would bring anything up, questions, or how would everybody play this out, seeing Cynthia kind of walk out, we got a hotel, and doesn't mention the conversation that just went down for 15 minutes in there. What's everybody doing?
Cynthia, how was it seeing your uncle?
It was good. It was alright.
All right. You don't seem like you're all right.
It's like the same thing as like seeing a relative after a long time. It's just, a little tired from the long drive. A little talk. That's all.
So, what's up? We didn't drive 6 hours for no reason, and
He
we
just wants-
really don't need to be in the dark here.
I know, but just he wants us to look into some things, but you gotta let me have some time to look into myself first and see if it's something that's even worthwhile for us. I don't want to drag us all into something that ultimately might not be worth it for us.
Trust your judgment.
yeah. Hey, Cynthia. And Looper'd be asking this more to like get her away so he could talk to her, but be basically like, hey, probably in the hotel lobby, you want to grab a nightcap?
Yeah, I think I might stop and get some John noodles too. want some black bean noodles. I haven't had those in a while, especially from here.
Yeah, because we need to talk. He mentions off to you at the side.
And Phoenix is being nosy, trying to listen in.
Yeah, so Looper, stealth, Phoenix, perception.
Yeah, Kira's not asking any questions.
And if you have any more of +2s, I'll use it on mine. Even though I got a +2 anyway. 16 plus my modifier.
Oof.
Yeah, Phoenix, you heard Looper say, yeah, let's go grab a drink and stuff, and then you hear him kind of try to mumble it secretly. We really should talk about your family and what's going on. Like, now you know, like, wait, Looper knows what's going on. Like, he must have overheard it somehow. Like, now you know.
I kind of lean up underneath both their armpits. Would you like me to join?
Cynthia almost jumps out of her skin. Good lord!
As long as you're buying drinks and not synth coke.
I buy a round.
Now, Phoenix, when you say that, are you being stealthy to Looper and Cynthia, or are you just out in the open and inviting yourself?
And myself, I'm open.
Okay, now Wolf and Kira would hear that then too.
Yeah, there's no stealthy with me. They were being stealthy, but I overheard it and I didn't like it, so that's what I was like, what you guys talking about?
I told her I trusted her judgment, so even though I hear her say this, I'm just gonna, go grab a bite to eat because I'm kind of hungry. I assume they have like a hotel restaurant or something. I want to go get something fairly nice.
Yeah, as far as the hotel, is there a place for Kira that would feel comfortable parking the bus and stuff? Is there a parking garage or whatever?
Oh yeah, internal parking garage. A lot of these buildings, just like Night City, a lot of these mega complexes have internal parking and stuff to keep their patrons safe.
And Kira would, she's kind of the same. Not going to invite her. She will go if invited. Otherwise, going to get a bite to eat, and is probably going to not take the hotel room, and will stay in the bus once again, as always.
Well, if I see Kira not going with them, I'm going to say, hey, you want to grab something to eat with me?
Hey, sounds good. Let me just lock up the bus.
Nice.
Yeah. We need to talk about driving skills.
Assuming the other two don't go with them as well, we invite them along. Anchor and Emma.
Oh yeah, Anchor and Emma would definitely go with Cynthia unless Cynthia wanted to be private and would tell them,
For this scenario, she's going to be private. She'll probably just let them go to their own hotel rooms respectively, or if they want to go and join them for food.
Nice.
Phoenix just laugh at them and go, okay, fine, y'all, but I'm going to still find out what your guys are secretly talking about. I'm going to bug these guys then, but I'm going to find out. Secretly talking.
So you're not going to go with them, Phoenix?
No, because I read Cynthia's attitude. So I'm just going to read her body language and go, okay, fine, guys. So I see that she's kind of like not in the mood for my antics.
Okay. Then, you, Wolf, Phoenix, Kira, Anchor, and Emma all go grab something to eat in the hotel restaurant while Cynthia and Looper decide to go hit the bar, grab a drink, and do a little bit of chatting. And that's where we'll end our session. We'll end it with the team splitting the party. But hey, under a nice safe hotel, inside, grabbing something to eat and a drink. It's not like splitting the party during a combat scenario, so it's a little different. But yeah, everyone's just resting, relaxing. When we start the session, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that, let's remind everybody we're doing the second and last Wednesday of every month now with Team Veritas, which is very cool. But when we get into the session next time, we'll take it right from here. We'll kind of bounce back and forth between both sets of the team, between the dinner with Wolf, Phoenix, Kira, and the assistants, and then Cynthia and Looper. And we'll let you guys kind of play that out, and we'll take it from there. Everybody in chat, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate that. I know we were a little bit late, a few minutes late. We were setting up the new overlay and stuff. So I always appreciate that when things run a little bit later, get a little bit sticky, and everybody hangs out and toughs it out with us. It means a lot. And then also contributing all the +2s, giving me a couple -2s, which was cool. I love that. I love when chat contributes ideas and is part of our story. So thank you so much for that as well. Thank you to all my players for joining me. As always, I love Team Veritas. It's a lot of fun. And Yeah. Any last words before I kill the transmission from anybody?
Thanks for watching.
I totally appease the mute gods in case anybody was watching. But while Val was talking, I did respond to her a second ago.
Oh.
And I totally appease the mute gods.
Oh, what was it? I didn't catch that then.
Oh, it was literally just him just being like, yeah, no, you all go on. It's date night. It's
Nice. Okay.
checking out LA.
Nice. Now it makes sense. Yeah, and that's cool. And that plays into the role play of that too. Phoenix was being nice, kind of read on Cynthia's body language, but I like that Looper kind of played into the date night aspect, kind of encouraging it. But yeah, awesome, great session. It was fun to start a new campaign to bring the team down to Los Angeles. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this develops, not just the plot and the story and how it goes, but to get a little more into Cynthia's side of things with this campaign, as well as Los Angeles. It'll be fun to expand some lore and spots and see what we can create together down here. So yeah, thanks again for everybody joining, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Cybernation Uncensored.